C-T-E, C-T-E. Ow now, brown cow. Alright, vocal warm-ups achieved. Welcome, my friends, to level 29. Have me a little more Mio. That's the good stuff. The hi-hat in the background. So I'm actually excited to get into some of this stuff today. Because this is, in fact, Critical Leaks, where the bottom of the barrel folks sit, sip, and overanalyze professional jokes. We've got no business doing so, but here we are, folks. So let's rock. Okay. So first of all, I gotta say, I don't think anybody thinks that gambling ads are a good thing for everybody. I think that I am fairly certain it's exclusive to the US, but I don't know that for sure. It may be an international epidemic. That said, I can't help but wonder how many people, let's say people my age, who have gone their whole lives without really being very interested in gambling. How many people my age are seeing these ads and going, oh my god, gambling. I can't believe I forgot about gambling. That's one of the vices I would love, certainly. Why don't I get into gambling? Thank you, sports bets, Bets Kings Bet Sports, Hard Rock Bets Sports. Now I have a new vice. I don't understand what the target demographic for these ads is. People that don't know that gambling is a thing, or people that didn't know that online gambling is a thing, I guess is probably the case. I don't know. I had it written down as a bit of a thought here. Not a swing and a miss this time, but I'll say in the last week or so, I have had a swing and a miss or two. So, I don't know where I heard about it, but I found out somewhere that Nate Bargatze, Tennessee's Nate Bargatze, the Tennessee Kid, as I'm now calling him, by the way, have a few with me. We'll be having a few today. It's Friday night when I'm recording this. So what I'm going to need you to do is dig deep and get yourself into that Friday night mentality, even though it's Monday afternoon, 2 weeks from now. You gotta get right here with me, my friends. So anyway, I'm watching Nate Bargatze's show, The Greatest Average American, which is, by the way, how he refers to himself in the show. He doesn't seem particularly comfortable with it. He's like, yeah, well, if that happens, then we'll just see if you're smarter than the greatest average American, me. I imagine that was his idea. I don't know. Maybe it was one of the other two, comics we would never have heard of were it's not for Nate Bargatze, by their own descriptions. Anyway, so I'm watching the show, and if you haven't seen it, like probably most people, I don't blame you. I don't necessarily suggest it. Give it a few seasons. New game shows kind of take a while to catch their stride, right? But at one point, so I guess one of the big concepts is that Nate Bargatze has to perform a task. And then the contestants guess, all right, how many states do you think Nate Bargatze can name? And then one of the contestants will be like, I guess 14, and the other contestant does it over and under. It's totally broken. It's a terribly designed game. Clearly a game designed by people who don't respect game design, but whatever. That's fine. So, one of these questions, I think it was colors. And up on the screen, it has two colors of paint. It's got blue and yellow paint, and it says, what color do blue and yellow make? And Nate Bargatze goes, man, I don't know, red? And I was furious. I threw my remote, shattering it against the wall. It's like, red? Fuck you. No one's dumb enough to think that blue and yellow make red. It's the worst possible guess. It's the literal opposite color of the correct answer. So I get on X, which I don't have downloaded on my phone anymore. I gotta go on a browser for this thing, and I get on X. And I go, hey, somebody pass Nate Bargatze this message for me. No one believes that you would get blue and yellow. What does blue and yellow make? Well, no one believes that you think that would make red. I think you threw the game, sir, and I think I know why. And then I said, thank you for this. Thank you for your attention in this matter. Well, mere minutes later, my beautiful and capable fiancée, she goes, I was like, oh no. Because, yeah, I was looking it up, and it turns out Nate Bargatze is colorblind. Yikes! So I post a bit of her attraction. She's like, you should delete that shit. I was like, but I'm not a deleter. I don't want to be a deleter. I have deleted, but you don't want to be a deleter, right? And so I quote myself and I repost it. And I said, it has since come to my attention that Nate Bargatze is colorblind. So, someone please tell Nate Bargatze, my bad. My bad, Nate. From one Nate to another. That's my bad, bro. Apparently he can see like yellow and gray and blue. I don't know. I didn't look any of that up. I'm just going with the flow. That's what we do here, folks. Woohoo! Critical leagues, baby. So there was a few episodes ago, there was some shit I wanted to cover that we didn't really get a chance to. That shit was, of course, the William Montgomery Show. 231 episodes of the William Montgomery Show, and we're looking at the 231st, which unfortunately, seemingly, might be the last one we get a chance to check out. So, let's have a listen. This is Trey Campbell, who, if you've watched any Kill Tony, he's the boobular, like tubular, but like a boob. He's boobular, redheaded man. Got kind of a baby voice, but he's very, he's funny. He did very well. Trey Campbell. Google it for, you'll probably recognize him when you hear your voice. When you hear his voice. Anyway, the William Montgomery Show.
Recorded live in Austin, Texas, USA. It's the William Montgomery Show. Starring William Montgomery. With the Tony Chin Orchestra. The William Montgomery Jr. Dancers. This week, Rattlesnake Dave. A performance by the Great Corbini. And a mysterious loaf of raisin bread. And
by the way, if this just got claimed or whatever, if you're from the William Montgomery Show, I'm on your team, man. I miss William. I love William. I'm furious for what the internet did to William. And this segment is labeled in my show notes as Justice for William Montgomery. So, for the record, I'm on your side. Please be cool, man.
Now, here he is, the big red machine, the Memphis Strangler, William Montgomery! This is the last William Montgomery Show.
Oh, shit, what'd he say?
This is the last William Montgomery Show.
This is the last William Montgomery Show. So for those of you who aren't super familiar with Kill Tony lore, I don't blame you. But William Montgomery started doing the show many, many years ago in L.A., Los Angeles. Ever heard of it? And at the time he began the show, he was a real party animal. William was an alcoholic who was also, I believe, pretty addicted to cocaine. Yikes. But good makings for comedians, right? Good makings for a comedian. However, he moves to Austin when Kill Tony decided they were going to move to Austin. This was a huge move for William Montgomery. However, I think Tony told him, look, you're welcome to come with us, William, but you're too drunk all the time, bro. And that actually might be documented. This is either headcanon or I'm pulling it from some conversation I, heard on the show or whatever. So William goes to Austin, Texas, and he fucking gets sober. And that was crazy, because I'm serious, when he was a party animal, he was a real beast, man. It was hilarious to watch. He wasn't always like the most like proficient, like technically proficient, but as far as just a drop dead, really, really funny fucking guy, William Montgomery just has it in his soul. He's just the way he looks, which is where most people, what they'll glom onto. But the more you get to know him, you find out he looks like this fucking serial killer, Civil War general, psychopath guy, but is actually like a total sweetheart, but also kind of a wild child. Like, he's a full-on like rock star comedian, and he would never say that about himself, and that's part of it, right? So William goes to Austin and he gets sober and things are going fantastic. And that's right around when I started listening to Kill Tony. It was like, I've since gone back and listened to almost every era. But when I got into it, it was largely because of William Montgomery. That's why I have the shirt that I do. There's William Montgomery, there's David Lucas, there's Hans Kim on it. Those were my guys. That was my era that I jumped into Kill Tony. And then I go, again, you go back, you watch some of the older stuff, and it's fun because it's the origin stories. But as Kill Tony evolved into its contemporary form, William Montgomery was right there, also evolving, if that's how you'd like to look at sobriety. Also evolving. So he ends up being the closer, and he has these epic moments. He does a showdown with Poirier, and he's got like a face-to-face. It was incredibly cool to watch William's journey as he's getting in shape. But as is the case probably for many addicts and the like, the things that he was fighting off using the booze and the cocaine, I feel like they probably started to reemerge. Again, this is all headcanon, but if I'm just like going off of, I think he kind of started to get into his own head, and then he gets, you get really into other things. You can't do the thing that your whole body is like telling you, like, oh, you should go do this fucking thing. Remember how much we love cocaine? But you don't do that, so he gets really into rowing, and he gets really into, these varying hobbies. You kind of pour yourself into them, so you're not pouring other things down your gut. And he struggles with that, but we're all kind of on his side for it, right? We're all like, William, William! At least the good ones, like me. But then, like, within the last year, William has a show, I believe it was at Netflix as a joke. It was at some show where he had a bunch of fans who don't really know what it is that he does, right? Right. So, he bombs. He does really, really bad, and he kind of has a little bit of a freak out on stage. But that freak out, which many people misinterpreted as an actual freak out at first, was how William dealt with bombing. Like, if there was somebody in the crowd who was talking or, like, heckled him, he'd go, shut the fuck up, bitch! But, regular people hear that. And it throws some red flags up. And that would have been fine. Comics bomb, even on big venues like that. You know, you hear stories about it all the time. But unfortunately, the internet turned on William Montgomery. It turned on William Montgomery, and people like American Redact and Fried Plantain, you fuckhead. I like Fried Plantain normally, but I was going back through his old discography, and I'm like, that's right. That's how I found out about you. You were dogpiling on William. And to be fair, you have 20,000 followers, 20,000 subscribers. That's a few more than I have. But fuck you, Fried Plantain, and especially fuck you, American Redact. Oh, who, me? Yes, you. And it could be. Because it got to it. I don't know how involved he is on paying attention to internet stuff, but other comics are certainly telling him, like, damn, the internet hates you, bro. And William, who's already struggling with lots of things in his head, he's already just trying to fucking do the thing. It's already hard enough for him to go through his goddamn everyday. And then people like Redact use him as the example of why Austin comedy can't work in the rest of the world. He tried to use my permanence code monologue. But it was misapplied. Because it was done in bad faith. Yes, it wasn't a great set. But to pretend like you haven't seen that this is the character, like, to say that William was being hateful or this, that, or the other thing, or just plain not funny. It's like, if you ever watch, like, Brian Holtzman, like, he kind of does a sort of anti-comedy thing. He comes out on fucking, he wears shorts, he wears sandals. Anyway, Redact, primary aggressor. You could look into it. He probably has... His video on this probably has the most views. Because, well, he's Walmart now. And William never really recovered from that. And you may be watching this and you may not like William Montgomery either. That's totally fine. I don't hold it against you that you don't like him. You know, there's no accounting for taste, right? And maybe... there's lots of different reasons that we choose artists that we like. I have no qualms with you for not liking it. I have qualms with Redact for dogpiling exclusively for views. And he did. And sure enough, just like he loves to do, he rallied an entire mob to bully the shit out of William at every turn. Fine, sure, you've heard me talk about it. If you're getting bullied online and it's bothering you that bad, stop getting online, asshole. But, for someone who was already struggling to keep his head on straight, which, if my headcanon isn't in any way accurate, then William was already struggling, to use him as the epitome of why Austin can't succeed outside, Austin comics can't succeed outside of their bubble and their echo chamber, I think, broke William's heart. And so we start seeing him less and less on Kill Tony. Fewer and fewer appearances, which he had missed so few previous to this era. And months later, we get this episode, and this came out 1 month ago. Months later, we get this episode, and the first thing William Montgomery says is,
"This is the last William Montgomery show."
No way. What?
First of all, really funny that he didn't tell Trey Campbell ahead of time. It's very funny. I don't know if he did that on purpose, because he gets kind of sweet about it, but we're going to let the time codes play. I just wanted to give you some background on William's story and why it is that I'm never, ever, ever going to let Redact off the hook for what he did to him. Because it was a cheap shot that he did exclusively for those Fighter and the Kid views. You know, those guys. I know not specifically, the Fighter and the Kid doesn't revolve around William Montgomery, but the types who are in that Reddit love to see a guy get ruined. I'm more of the Red Barian approach, where it's like, I want Redact to be making videos until the end of time. Redact, you're great. As I've said before, I feel like I could be a father figure to you. So he did it for views, and he got his goal, just like Shaw and just like Kreischer. He's now chased William Montgomery off of the internet. Now, to be fair, there's a little bit of an asterisk because I was building this story before the latest Kill Tony came out, whereon William Montgomery comes out second to last, and the person who closes the show, or should I say, the caricature who closes the show, fucking Timmy No Breaks. Fucking Timmy No Breaks. Why Timmy No Breaks? Because Tony doesn't listen to the internet, and he thinks he was right about Timmy. And under the under the contexts of someone that doesn't really follow internet stuff, then sure, he's right. Because Timmy No Breaks was funny when he first came on. But then Timmy No Breaks overexposed himself, and he put out his bullshit special, and he's just doing he has all these terrible appearances, which is why the comments are turning on him. But because Tony doesn't pay attention to the internet, he doesn't know that what he has already ruined itself. Anyway, so let's go back to William Montgomery's show. American Redact. You've done it again.
What?
Are you making that up?
We're going back.
No way. What?
That big laugh. He kind of looks off screen. He knew this would be kind of funny.
Are you making that up?
I'm not making it up. So
Fuck, he's not making it up.
we're figuring it out. We're going to...
We're up and rolling. We're live.
Oh, we're live. Yeah, so we're going to figure it out logistically, everything. But yeah, it's been a good run, but I thought, oh my gosh, might as well have Trey and Lindsay's off camera. Really nice to have y'all today.
Yeah, thank you. I can't believe that this is the end of an era, if that's the truth. What's going on?
It might be. It's just the advertisements. It's all positive, but it's I guess it's just a financial decision is what I would say.
I don't believe you, Will. If I believed you, I'd be a little upset, but I don't believe you, man. I think that cool Texas guys like hard decisions made around business. And I think that's what you're going with. You gotta go where the money is. Tony Hinchcliffe respects the money, and if it's advertisement based, well then okay, then that was a practical decision. It's not a mental health thing. It was a practical money decision. Okay, William, genuinely fine. If that's what you want me to believe, then brother, I believe you.
Right.
Not in any kind of dramatic or bad, nothing bad.
See, nothing bad, no drama. Now this is very Kentucky. This is very like Midwest, southern Midwest Kentucky. I had family from southern Ohio, and they were very sweet. Pony boy, very, very sweet. And so my earliest memories have the sweetest little accent because I have family from southern Ohio, and they're very, very polite, and they don't want to make their problems, even though they wouldn't admit that they're problems, they don't want to make their tribulations the problems of other people. And I think probably, he's from Memphis, so it's not a super far from Southern Ohio. Culturally, it's probably pretty similar to that Midwest mentality of like, oh, no, there's no drama or anything. No, nothing like that. I just, it's a money thing. You hate to say it, but it's got everything to do with the fact that I'm just not getting the cheddar that I think I deserve. And maybe it really is financial. Just the timing is crazy. With all these absences on Kill Tony, and now he's ending his own podcast, which again, you figure what? You can do 50 episodes a year if you do once a week. So it's just like 4.5 years, give or take.
Bad at all, but just a economical kind of. Yeah, oh my gosh. And by the way, that was was that mean and nasty of me to throw that on y'all right at.
See, he's so sweet. And that's part of what's hilarious about William is his onstage persona is this way over the top, yelling into the mic, shut up, man. Like, just very, 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 very intense. And then you hear him in real life, and he's just this sweetheart. If you've met his parents, if you watch Kill Tony where we meet his parents, you can just see that he's just the sweetest guy who's got this beast within him. And I think he's been grappling with that beast recently. I know Casey Rocket had a big relapse, and you gotta wonder if maybe, he's got. I can imagine. I would never do that to myself. I would never become sober. That's crazy. I respect them for trying. I respect them for doing it and making that like what their lives are or whatever. I would never put myself through that kind of stress. That's insane. For whom? No, never. So let's hear him out. He's talking to Trey Campbell.
Right before it started recording.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
Yeah, no pressure after 4 years. We've done a lot. I know that's the sad thing. Well, maybe it's not. I got to make a couple phone calls.
Yeah, I think
we're gonna figure things out.
I think you could figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure things out.
Yeah.
I tripled his rent. So.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the perks of living in Austin, I guess.
Yep. And with my apartment, luckily it has not. It never went up. It's every 6 months it goes up here. Normally it's once a year it goes up places, but here it's like a 6-month kind of lease.
Yeah, that's how it was in our first studio apartment. It's like we started off at one price, but then it doubled to like.
They doubled the price on y'all's ass?
And in a shitty studio apartment, too. Like, the worst one you can think of. There were rats in there, and we never got a dishwasher.
Yikes, what were you having to do? Hand wash the dishes and get one of the little containers to the side of the sink where you let them dry or something?
Exactly. We had to get Lindsay had to do all the hand washing. Yeah, mainly paper plates, exactly.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I use some paper plate. I threw away a couple paper plates last night. It's easier than washing a dish.
I love paper plates, too.
Okay, gentlemen, well, we've sort of gotten through that part. Let's see, we're going to go up to 26, 24, 26, 24. Oh, they don't fall on the floor. 26, 24.
And then...
Well, the ads seem to be working fine, William. To me, if I'm looking at the ads, I'm looking at these ads, and it seems like these ads are working.
In the YouTube
perfectly.
comments.
And then I'll say, oh my gosh, okay, put it in Grant's Corvette.
Yeah.
Grant, you can have subs in your Corvette.
Hell yeah.
Grant, you have a Corvette?
I do.
What type?
It's a 71 Stingray.
Oh, nice. So
I know it's a cool
car.
one.
Yeah, what type of... Do you have, you don't have an LS in it, do you?
No.
Yeah, those are good cars, though. Is it like a coupe?
Yeah.
Trey Campbell, along with other things, is not the type of guy he's kind of got a Joe List thing going on, where when you see Joe List, you want to make a Mordor reference, but he's more of like a baseball nerd, where he's like, oh, well, men like baseball, and I don't want to seem like I'm not manly, nor I look it, but I'm actually one of you gentlemen, so I like cars, and I like sports, and I like blah, 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 blah. Please don't bully me. So I feel like Trey Campbell or he loves cars, I don't fucking know, but he's very into these types of things you might not think. Specifically, I believe, sports nerdery and car stuff.
Nice. My dad had a C5 He had a Corvette C5.
Shout out to Shane Gillis. This is actually what I believe to be the superior light beer. I've been drinking a lot of Michelob Ultra the last few years, and I was stepping through somewhere, and they didn't have it. And so I was like, I'll go Bud Light, fuck it. And it's got more flavor. It tastes like it was made from like a good IPA rather than just like beer's breath.
Corvettes are my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love Corvettes.
Yeah, they're a distinct looking car. I kind of like those ones from the maybe 90s.
Yeah, Corvettes fuck. Next to the SSR, my favorite car. My dad worked for GM for 25 years, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for these American muscle cars by the old GMC.
90s with the big old back look. Yeah, they're wild looking cars.
Yeah, they're fast too. They've gotten a lot faster.
Yeah, I remember Tony when I was featuring for Tony.
Tony Hinchcliffe? The Tony Hinchcliffe?
He, first couple times he would drive me back to my apartment after the weekend. And yeah, I remember the handful of times he drove from the Austin airport to my place, which is not that long of a drive.
No.
It took 5 minutes.
Tony Speeds. That doesn't seem like news to me. Tony Speeds. Okay, yeah, duh. Tony's a speeder. Tony talks like he's a speeder. I don't go the speed limit. It's not in Austin.
And we're going 120 the entire time. I remember the very first time we get in the car.
So they're going 120, which, if this was the clip alone, you'd be hearing it. I would be showing you if it was like, Tony drives like a psychopath. What's it say in chat? Not interested. That's not what it says, but that is my response to it. Oh, by the way, shout out to Cat Dog. Glad you found us over here, brother. The battle that's been raging on since time immemorial. Cat Dog. Another one of my crab people joining us over here. It's great to have you, Cat Dog. Super, super glad. Tell Midnighters and Shiv to come hang. What the fuck? I've literally, like, gone and looked for... Well, I'm like, Midnighters 34. Like, maybe they have a video or something. Like, that's a homie of mine. Midnighters rules. I don't remember what the numbers are that follow their name, but... Yeah, there are a couple of crab people... A few of them have come over here, and that's been super cool. A lot of the good ones, who I believe genuinely actually love Jeff Crabtree, and they're not doing the like Daniel Larson thing, which ain't my bag, dude. If that's what you like on the internet, fine. I like some stupid shit you probably don't like too. However, like that ain't it. Jeff's not a lol cow, and we are not the same. I truly and unironically think he fucking rules. Do I think he's sane? Nope, and that's part of why he rules. So anyway, we'd have been hearing about this, even if it was just like, Tony drives like a psychopath. It's like, of course he does, you know? Senator Hinchcliffe. Hail Hinchcliffe. I hate when you do this.
120 the entire time. I remember the very first time we get in the car, I get in the passenger seat, he just gets a gun from this.
A gun? Crazy, because actually now that I'm thinking about it, I want to say on the most recent version, where in the hell did Tony Hinchcliffe's... Oh, on his special. Oh, shit. We've heard about this gun. We're going to hear... Well, we will hear about this gun. I wanted to have a couple of BLs today. I wanted to honor Shane Gillis. This is me solidifying my forgiveness for Shane Gillis, because for a while I thought Shane Gillis was a sellout, but then he turned down all that big bucks Riyadh money, and I issued him official forgiveness. Forgiveness. So, this is my olive branch for forgiveness to the dogs. Are we cool, dogs? Are we cool? Here's to you, here's to me, friends to the end. We'll always be, and if by difference we disagree, to hell with you, here's to me. Shout out to the Polish. Who taught me that cheers?
Side, like not in anything.
Right.
We get in the car and he just gets a gun from right to the left and shows it to me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Tony is driving down the road. You know he's got a cigarette. So, William, how was your flight? By the way, check this out. That's hilarious imagery to see these two in a teeny tiny little Corvette. There's only a bench seat. There's nowhere to put anything. William's bags are probably in his fucking lap. Maybe in this teeny tiny little trunk. He's got a little Tony Booty trunk. So hilarious for William to tell this story. I don't know particularly well, but I think that's illegal, bro. I don't think that's on the up and up. It's not on the up and up. He's in big trouble. Senator Hinchcliffe, you better hope the voters don't hear about this, or there's no way we're making it to the top.
There's that.
Yes, we.
If you don't know what.
See, plenty of ads, William. What are you talking about? I guess my big question for this, because I'm the kind of guy who's like, forms parasocial relationships, but is also like delusional enough to be like, that's my actual friend. You're messing with Redact, who's my actual enemy, and not just some guy who makes content that's never heard of me before. So we need to figure out who we hate for doing this to William. I think it's Redact. I'm cool with it being Redact. You guys let me know in the comments if you think I should go after somebody else, if you think it's their fault that they did this to William. Whoever kicked William when they're down, including you, Fried Plantain. And by the way, dickhead, I was starting to come around on you. You did all your AI bullshit to build your channel, fucking cheater. Who's the kid in your profile picture? Because it sure the fuck ain't you. And also, you used AI just to talk shit about William. I don't know if I like you, Fried Plantain. You can get forgiveness, but you need to ask for it publicly. Otherwise, no forgiveness for you. No forgiveness. Not like for Shane, whom we issued forgiveness. But not for you, Fried Plantain! You're going on the grill, my man. We're frying you up, Plantain. But between you and me, I like some of your content. Don't tell anybody. Or you're in more trouble, you prick.
Is to keep a gun in a Corvette. There's no back seat.
Okay, Trey Campbell's going on to talk about how confined this area he must have been in really was.
There's not a lot of places to keep a gun in a Corvette. There's no back seat. I guess you could.
Right.
But he's a Corvette guy. I've heard.
He is. He had that yellow. I don't know. I have any idea. I'm not aware of what he has now or whatever. But yeah, for a long time.
Good catch, William. I mean, not a great catch. You bobbled it a bit, but you caught it. We're like, oh, I probably shouldn't give out the exact description of this very unique car. I guess Tony drives a yellow Corvette. A little bit late there. A little bit late of a catch, but we'll call him out anyway. So I don't blame Tony, and I don't blame Trey Campbell. I don't blame the Corvette. I don't blame the landlord. I don't blame Erica, William's girlfriend, with whom there is a crazy history, but out of respect for William, I will not bring it up. I don't blame her either. I blame Redact. No, wait. Sinister. Redact.
Tell me, you had that the yellow Corvette, one of those newer ones that look like some kind of supercar kind
Right.
of deal.
Yeah, the rear engine Corvettes. My dad had a yellow Corvette too.
See, he's a very car guy. He's like, I know how I talk, but I do like cars. What makes a man? I'm better at all that stuff than you. I get it, Trey. I get it.
And I remember one time, I lived in Dallas, so I would fly from Houston to Dallas on the weekend.
Trey, I'm writing a buddy comedy. I can't tell you exactly what it is. I signed an NDA, which is Nate, don't... hold on. Nate, don't expose. Don't worry about it. But I think you'd make a great junkie. Now that sounds mean, but if you want me to continue writing my script around you, Trey Campbell, I'll do it.
And
I can pay you in favors.
So that was probably not too bad of a flight.
Would you like me to sweep your floor, Mr. Campbell?
no, it was like 45 minutes. But we had to make a flight, and we were like on the other side of Houston. We were like around Kima
Wait. Is this a story about Corvette Go Fast?
area, and my dad got in his Corvette, and we went like 115 the whole way.
Corvette Go Fast.
And we made it to the airport with like 40 minutes to spare. It was ridiculous. My
I think we might have killed a guy.
dad was like, we just got to the airport from Kima in 15 minutes. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. That dude was crazy. But that's when you got
I want Trey Campbell to like me.
a Corvette, you got to go fast, you know? You can't.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But
Yeah.
be careful because what was Paul Walker in? He was in a
Yeah.
real fast Porsche.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing, William. God, I miss you, bro. I commented on this video. Let me go down and look at the comments here. Everyone's like, Dear William, I really hope you're doing well. If this really is the last episode, I want to thank you for all the laughs and spiritual healing. Another person's like, don't be sad it's over, be happy it happened. Don't quit. This podcast is amazing. And so are you, William. I hope you stay. I ain't never gonna stop loving William while hoping this podcast stays up. Oh, William, I really hope it's not the last episode. I'll always support you, William, but if you have it in you, please don't end the pod here. William, I hope this is not the end. This is all my comment, by the way. No, these are his loving fans, his adoring fans. William, we will love you and miss you. Please don't go through the sex change. Okay, well, that person rules. So I posted and I said, the thought of having nowhere to go watch William Montgomery is a truly dismal one. And I mean that. I do mean that. So this time code is labeled the final goodbye. And I guess this is we're going to the end of the episode here. We're going to hit another advertisement, which I don't even care if it's money you need, William. Then fucking, hey, then have it. Don't you do like I don't know. I genuinely, so here's the thing. There's two sides of my mind. One of two things are true. Actually, they're both true in this case. I want William to do well, and I want him to be happy, and I want him to feel healthy and pursue his own means that will lead him to said health. But also, I'm a fucking William Montgomery fan, and I want him to be on stage making me laugh, God damn it. So, if you could find a way to make both of those work for your boy Jippo, I would much appreciate it.
He'll be headlining, so.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very
I can't
cool.
wait, yeah.
Well, sounds good. And we also have to thank our sweet mercenaries.
course.
Thank y'all for supporting the show through these number of years. Gaming Crooner, Memphis Strangled, Vanderweed, Whole Milk, William and Casey the Cats, Adam Matthew, Avery's Her Soup Bomb, Beef, Bullspeak, Clucklebuck, Danja Fox, Devin Swank, Dirty Butter, Hurley at WMS.LOL, I Love Big Macs, Kyle Heath, Larry Loop Loop, Love from the Late Show, Yikes, Mr. Alex, Papa Coo, Ruby Drew Sparkles, and Sean King Art, and Sheba, and Skin Bomb, and Swazi Swa. Thank y'all so much. And that is our time. Thank you, Trey.
Thank you for having me. It's always a blast.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
And that's the end. Apparently, that's the end of the William Montgomery show. Sad golf clap. Okay, all right, William. Well, Well, in order, I want those two things for you. So, you never looked at the comedian I requested. Oh, that's right, Jake. Will you post their name again and I'll write it down right now? I have my pen. I have my paper. I'm going to write it down and I will be covering it. That is my bad. So, William Montgomery, Sam Miller. Okay, cool. Sweet. Within the next little while, within the next episode or two, because I have a couple things I need to cover, but I will be doing Sam Miller, because straight up, I appreciate the fuck out of you, Jake. I'm even writing Jake's suggestion. You rule, man. Appreciate you. Jake's suggestion. Proof. He's got a special on YouTube. Okay, cool. See? Proof right here. Boom, boom, boom. Sam Miller. Jake's suggestion. Childlike handwriting? Maybe. Okay, well, sad. Sad goodbye, you know? Didn't that make you a little bit sad? Well, don't worry, because now we're going to watch some Legion of Skanks, and we're going to watch them try to go after Anthony Jeselnik. Now, this was a few years ago, sort of a dated storyline. It's just something that I think is funny. I was told recently that it's a good idea if I share some things that I do like, you know? To prove that there is anything I do like. So, we're going to check out some Legion of Skanks. Now, to be clear, I am not a Legion of Skanks man, but I have been watching an episode or a clip or two every now and again, mostly because Dave Smith is gone, but don't tell Lewis because that's his friend and I love Lewis.
I never associated like the host of a thing with someone's belief system. So it was like you'd love to watch the shows where it was like, all right, today on the show we have the KKK and the Jewish Defamation League. I
don't know what they're talking about, but this is very Legion of Skanks coded.
I was like, oh yeah, let them fucking... Like,
pretty fucked up to have the Jewish Defamation League on that episode.
Yeah. But do you get what I'm saying about like
Jesus?
Samarillo. So what we're looking at is a table. They've got Big J. Okerson. Dave Smith is still on at this particular point, and Louis J. Gomez, who's kind of got puppy face going on. Louis J. Gomez is aging like a fine mead. You know? Takes a little longer than wine. But you can see why he's... you know, his target demographic of romantic entanglement is still trending at a pretty young age. He's a handsome man. His mustache looks good. You know, he tries to keep himself together. Louis J. Gomez, please don't beat me up because I talk shit about all your friends.
Jewish Defamation League.
Because I will be coming to see you, and I know you watch stuff about you, and if you beat me up, fine. But please don't.
And I was like, oh yeah, let them fucking... Like,
pretty fucked up to have the Jewish Defamation League on that episode.
Yeah.
But if you want, Louis, during our selfie that I'm going to get with you, whether you like it or not, just like, it's like a photo bomb. It's like a photo drive-by. I'm just like walking past and I'm like, bam! Ah! Or you can put me in a big mean headlock and someone else can take the picture as you choke me unconscious, and I pretend I'm not here.
Do you get what I'm saying about like
Jesus Christ?
But do you know what I mean by the idea of just I think Alex Jones is a lunatic, personally.
Okay.
Sure, but I'm saying I think he's a lunatic. But the thing is, I would absolutely have
Jay Ixnay on the Unalik talk a.
Unalik talk. That's not great Pig Latin. But it's funny Pig Latin.
We're trying to get him on as a guest day.
By all means.
Guest day.
And if he wants to come on, it's fine. But again, I'm like, in my mind, I go, yeah, I want to hear a guy ramble on about lizard people running the country. Like, I want to hear that in person and be like, what? Like, it's the same, when we got in trouble for the Milo thing, it was the same thing. Like, I thought Milo was interesting because of his goofy shit he would say. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure, let's have him on. And people are just like, right away, they're like, no, you are subscribed to his thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, yeah, all this shit, it's all retarded. And Jeselnik...
The Jeselnik point was that if we had Alex...
I had dinner with Harvey Weinstein a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, you think just because I hang out with this guy, I subscribe to his belief system?
I opened for Cosby.
Great.
So, by the way, Dave Smith, that's a burn on you. So, whoever, Anthony Jeselnik, rather, was hating on Legion of Skanks because they're like, oh, you know, they love Alex Jones and that kind of thing. And they're like, we've never had Alex Jones on this show. And Dave Smith's like, I've been on Alex Jones' show. Sam Morril kind of burns him right here.
But
I had dinner with Harvey Weinstein a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, you think just because I hang out with this guy, I subscribe to his belief system?
Got your ass, Dave.
But for Cosby.
This is crazy.
Oh, yeah. You think what? Just because I hang out with him, I subscribe to his theories? It is funny for Sam to have painted this picture. And this is kind of a banner moment because I think this is the first time Sam Morril has ever made me laugh. I don't know. Sam's another one of the guys who I don't like hate on principle because there are, Red Bar says that we should hate him. I as much as I respect Mike, I respect myself a little bit more, and I want to make sure that I put myself through all these ringers. I don't just take people's opinions for, oh, you should hate this guy or you should hate this guy. But as you're noticing and you're seeing it happen in real time vis-a-vis Soder, I'm like, the more I watch these guys, the more I'm like, oh shit, do I actually organically not like you? Oh, dang. And to be fair, I don't hate Sam because Red Bar hates Sam. I'm just starting to dislike Sam. I don't even dislike Sam. Sam, no offense, bro. You make me feel nothing. Until now. Now you've made me laugh. Samus, my good man. Hilarious. You went after Dave Smith. There's always a bigger fish. Well, let's hear him out.
Easy.
I was part of what he did, but you think just because I was part of that, I subscribe to his.
The guy got Peter Luger's delivered to the Manhattan County Jail.
Yeah, I mean, so apparently, I don't exactly know. I didn't watch a bunch of it. I know that this.
Gentlemen, we're speaking over ourselves. Oh, this is actually really funny. I wish I had a screen. So, after looking at, here's a little aside real quick. After watching Fried Plantain the other day, I was like, you know what? Maybe, I love my format right now. It's easy to just set the phone up. I've got my background set up, I really like this model, but Fried Plantain has 20,000 subscribers. It's more than, until maybe a month ago, all of his stuff was just AI. Whether he wrote the scripts and AI read them, I fucking doubt it, but maybe. He's got a hilarious... I watched his video the other day, and he's got your average, Twitch commentator setup, where his little face is down in the corner and the screen is filled with the content that he's covering. Sure, pretty practical way of going about it. But it's really funny because Fried Plantain, who has 22,000 fucking subscribers, is seriously sitting there like this, and on his phone, you can see his phone flashing against his face, and he keeps looking up like this. It looks almost sketchy. He keeps going... while this entire clip plays. So I can't help but wonder if maybe, my low quality audio, which I can fix. There are a lot of people who would need to go out and buy a bunch of expensive equipment. I was doing music recording years before I ever started this shit. So I have the equipment to do it. I like the audio thing because we're very second screen friendly here, but it's second screen friendly was never supposed to be a compliment. You know what I mean? It's never. If I see a Netflix show described as second screen friendly, I'm probably not gonna watch it, right? So maybe I will do that format change. I'll have to wear headphones, so I won't be able to jump and flail as much as I usually do, but, evolution and all that. You lose a couple of things, you gain a couple of things, and eventually you're not a dinosaur anymore.
Yeah, I mean, so apparently, I don't exactly know. I didn't watch a bunch of it. I know that.
So, okay, right now, Lewis has the right of way, conversational right of way, even if he wasn't the alpha dog here, which he is. He's got the conversational right of way, and he begins speaking at a totally normal time.
To his.
The guy got Peter Luger's delivered to the Manhattan County Jail.
That's Lewis who says, so it's his turn. He begins talking.
Yeah, I mean, so apparently, I don't exactly know. I didn't watch a bunch of it. I know
He's been speaking for 3 solid seconds with Dave Smith, who's laughing with his goddamn eyes closed, just starts saying nonsense into the microphone.
Yeah, I mean, so apparently, I don't exactly know. I didn't watch a bunch of it. I know that it's been sort of going online.
He goes like this. Now, this is serious. Okay, just because I have to describe it to you. Your imagination is cooler than this looks. Don't worry. So Lewis begins speaking, and he's like, and he goes
Luger's delivered to the Manhattan County Jail.
J. Ogres and bombs, but that's fine. And then Lewis is like, and starts speaking.
Yeah, I mean,
Dave is cracking up. You can hear him. His eyes are closed, and he's leaning back up to his microphone, and he goes.
So apparently, I don't exactly know. I didn't watch a bunch of it. I know that it's been sort of going.
And as he's in the middle of talking, he looks over at Lewis, who's looking at him already, and goes. Dave stops talking. Listen to it. Listen to how quick this decrescendos.
I mean, so apparently, I don't exactly know. I didn't watch a bunch of it. I know that it's been sort of going online.
His smile drops and everything. He goes like, it's like Lewis, oh damn, Daddy just told me to stop talking at the table. See, Lewis, it's okay. I'm not anti you guys. Yes, I put Legion of Skanks in the title so that you would see this. And yes, I'm sorry for my review of your special. I was trying to be very honest. Wasn't trying to hurt anybody's feelings. And to be fair, man, if you want, I'll regrade it using the EEK scale. Before I didn't have an EEK scale, I was just joking that there was one. And I was pretty much just doing 5 bags of popcorn. Pretty much everything was getting a 6.5 unless it sucked, and then I got a 6. And if it was great, I got a 7. There was no scale, but my friend, there was an EEK scale now. So, Lewis, you need to contact me personally, and I'll regrade your special, and I'll do it live. But, shout out to Jake, I won't do it before I do Sam Miller.
Is people talk, I guess.
Because I am taking suggestions. If you're watching this on YouTube, come join us on Twitch. Maybe I'll take your suggestions too.
Anthony took a shot at Joe Rogan and his podcast listeners in a special,
I didn't hear
which I heard the joke. It's really not like people are.
So they're talking about a joke that Anthony Jeselnik made in his special in, I think, 2024. Years ago, like I said. Just a fun little piece of comedy history.
It's a misdirect joke.
It's just a bit.
It's not a hard. It's not.
Oh, it's in the set.
It's in the special. Yeah.
Sam Morrill's sitting there going, it's a misdirect. Like, it's not like a hard hit.
I saw him. The big thing people were arguing about with Tom Pop. He was on Tom Papa's podcast.
Wait, hold on. Was he trapped at the top of a castle and someone told him to let down his hair?
Dave, I'm so glad that you're in politics now. Because I don't think comedy was your thing, my man. And I have an EEK scale, so I know. Excuse me, we're from comedy. But the joke you just made is a grandpa joke. The joke you just made is when you go to your grandparents for Thanksgiving, and your grandpa's had a few, and you walk in and he goes, "What, are you trapped in a fucking tower and trying to let down your sweet hair, you big gay bastard?" And you're like, "Oh, Grandpa." And it's funny because it's your grandpa, and your cousins laugh because it's the patriarch of the family. But you're no patriarch, Dave Smith. And the joke about Anthony Jeselnik's ear-length hair is a crazy reach. It's a crazy reach. So let's hear about it, because that is what he's talking about. I'll take a little screenshot just so you can see exactly what Jeselnik looks like. I might not post it anywhere, but if you ask me nice, I may.
And he's just.
I might put it on X if you ask me real nice. Go follow me there too. Watch my apologies.
Very, very
He
slowly.
does have 3
Watch my mistakes and then apologizing for them.
musketeers here now.
Let's see.
I'm against cancel culture.
Well, could we? Oh,
Is that a character?
could we move it up from 6.6 to 100% speed?
I love that not even your audience thinks you're funny, Dave. Jesus, bro. Go take over politics, Dave Smith. Go do you. I don't know what your beliefs are, excuse me. I don't know what your beliefs are, David, but they can't be worse than your comedy.
Culture.
Does Dave Smith have a special? Let's Google that shit. Does Dave Smith have a special? Yes! Oh, he has 2 notable specials. He released his debut, highly acclaimed special, Libertas, in 2017, so 10 years ago. Holy shit. And then in 2023, he released 30 Minutes with Dave Smith. Hi, future me. It's past you. Thinking of you. Please put a link for Dave Smith's special in our show notes because I am performing.
How does he feel about broadband internet connection?
Just like that.
Thank you. That's my impression of a shit comic trying to get on Rogan.
That's a good.
He goes, I'm against cancel culture. Thank you. That's my impression of a shit comic trying to get on Rogan. Very actually funny.
Joke. Good joke.
And the whole Legion of Skanks crowd is cracking up too.
That's a very good joke.
I can't argue with that.
You wouldn't know this, but Steve Renazizi is also here. The League. I enjoyed the League before I really got too hard into stand-up. So, Steve Renazizi, for those of you who are scratching your head going, why do I know that name? Oh, it's because he was in the League. And he also lied about being in 9/11.
In 20 years of stand-up
Publicly. Look that up if you're not familiar with that story. It's very, very funny. It kind of predates my coverage. I don't know that it'll ever intersect into the greater story that we're telling here on CTE. But it's a good story. It's funny. It's funny.
comedy, I've been asked the same questions over and over.
That's
and
not the
over
joke
again.
that people were talking.
Oh, by the way, last episode, or 2 episodes ago, it's toward the end of the episode, I was getting pretty charged up, feeling myself, and I was making fun of Redac's little brain. And that's just such low-hanging fruit. I know it seems like I'm building up to a punchline or a bit right now, and that's just because it's sarcasm in me. It's how I talk. Genuinely, it's a tasteless look to take someone who you think, even if you think they're dumb, and to call them dumb. It's low-hanging fruit. To it, I give myself a bump, 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 bump. It was a swing and a miss on old Eeksy's part, and I can admit it. You know, my friends, we hit it out of the park enough times. We can admit when a strike is a strike.
Talking about people were talking about. I guess the joke was something. He was like, "I'm friends with. I really like Joe Rogan. I'm his friend." He was like, "But I hate Joe Rogan podcast listeners."
I think it's going.
And that's what all his
I
listeners.
think this is. I think it's
Okay,
like
good.
following this.
No, sure.
Yeah.
The most by far is Anthony. What do you think about cancel culture? Does it make you mad? Aren't you scared? What do you think about cancel culture? So, let me be clear. I don't give a fuck about cancel culture.
I remember seeing this special when it came out.
What
We have wheelie kids here. They're teens who just fucking rip wheelies on e-bikes and 2-stroke dirt bikes and shit. No, they don't give a fuck. You pull up behind them in your car and they're just like, they don't even look. They won't go to the other lane. They'll just keep wheeling until they land and then they'll look back. It's like, kid, you're gonna be a big TikTok someday.
I am sick of
Probably.
are comedians complaining about cancel culture. It's not that hard. Do your job.
Okay. I mean, he was saying the whole like, yeah, this is the bit. This is what you do. What do you want? Freedom from ridicule?
Hey, don't laugh at him.
So Lewis, God bless his fucking beautiful heart, his crowd is laughing, and that is not the reaction that Legion of Skanks was like going for. And so he just goes, hey, Stop laughing. Stop laughing. Hilarious, Lewis. Way to stick and move, my guy.
So far, whoa, we're trying to prove a point right now.
We're trying to prove a point right now.
No.
This, shit like this is why I unironically love Louis J. Gomez.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
Hold on.
So far, I'm just enjoying it.
I know.
I was gonna say, because all these, that was Steve Red and ZZ. So all these guys, genuinely, they sat down to be like, man, fuck this guy talking shit. Like, we're trying to stick up for the Rogan sphere. And then it's actually very well written because it's Anthony Jeselnik, and the dude knows how to write a joke. Say what you will about the guy. Motherfucker can write. And the audience is reacting accordingly. So, Lewis, again, way to catch the fumble, my man.
God damn it, dude.
Let me say this too.
Because them laughing could have just been like... Anyway, play the next clip. You know, Dave Smith didn't think to do this. Dave Smith, it would be no offense, crowd work expert Big J. Okerson didn't realize that the laugh that you could get out of this moment was addressing the fact that the crowd's laughing at the guy you're trying to get them to hate. That's really funny. It shows self-awareness and a lightness on your feet. It's an adept agility that Lewis is showing. And I like that.
I watched the special. It's very, very good.
Oh, I bet.
He's a good
I
comment.
bet.
I'm going to text Anthony Evans.
Don't worry, because in about 20 minutes or so, we will, and I know you're wondering, so I will go ahead and quell that curiosity, but we will be doing a reading from the autobiography written by Corey Feldman. Choreography. Last time we saw him, shit got a little weird. Shit was getting pretty crazy over there. He was in the cup. We'll get to that. Don't worry.
I watched your special on Legion of Skanks. It's great.
So Renazizi's like, I'm about to see Anthony Jeselnik. You know, when I see him, I'll tell him I watched your special on Legion of Skanks. It was great.
Your special on Legion of Skanks. It's great.
Boy, there are some really bored-looking women in the background here, boys. I get you probably front rowed them, so they're like, look, there's chicks here. You did the old Tony Hinchcliffe method. Which will, I think next week we're going to get to. I wanted to get, like I said, I wanted to have a couple of BLs to give my piece to Shane Gillis. But, you know, I wanted to make sure I'm right on point when I grade Senator Hinchcliffe's special. Just because I don't want to miss anything. It's very important to me that we do an accurate reading on the Eek scale.
Alex, you might stop showing funny points of the special.
The guys were talking shit.
For reference, the Eek scale has shown Gringo Poppy got a -6, I want to say. False Gods got a -2. Shane Moss's psychedelic one-man show thing, I think got like a 9. So that shows you the way the Eek scale works. It really does honor a solid, well-written performance, but it disparages the shit out of garbage. So far, it's a working scale, as I call it.
Shit, but the crowd seem to love it. Yeah. He's such a good comic. He's such a good comic.
Guys, you're really ruining our point right now.
I love that self-awareness, Lewis. That's very, very, very funny to me. Well played, sir.
If we're going to play his comedy, I'm going to end up laughing, I bet.
No, so I skipped ahead a little. There's only a couple more jokes. They were good, but
they're all pretty good, dude.
Look, let me hear him, dude.
And this is where he
Go
brings
back
up
to where we were.
This is where he brings up Joe Rogan.
By the way, it is annoying. Oh yeah, play it. Never mind.
Sam doesn't want to.
No.
Oh, okay, a little ad. Little AD for the LOS.
I like Joe. Joe's my friend. Joe's a good guy.
Okay.
But if you listen to his podcast, you're a fucking loser.
He's not always right. I mean, yeah, smart, sure, and a good writer. Yeah. So anyway.
My brother-in-law is Joe Rogan's biggest fan. Never misses an episode. Doesn't think for.
Okay. I was doing a bit of a sarcastic bit there, the whole like, oh, because I don't listen to a whole lot of JRE. If I'm listening to JRE, it's usually research-based. But when I was researching the stuff we're going to cover after our reading of Corey Feldman's choreography, Stavros Halkias, as I was watching the old version, the one that came out last week, I couldn't help, excuse me, but notice that I like Old Joe. Was that Old Joe Clark? Old Joe Rogan used to be cool back in 2024. Back in 2024, Rogan was kind of awesome. Like, it reminds me of why when in 2015 I was showed his special where he talks about leftover monkey shit by like some cool like heady hippie guys. Like, they're like, isn't this sick? And I really liked Joe Rogan because he had that more centrist attitude. He had a bit of like a conservative, like, don't tread on me, but also like an open-mindedness from the more liberal sensitivity or sensibilities. And that was really intriguing to me, and I always thought he was really, really cool. And I've always known about Joe Rogan, but that was the first time they showed me the whole special. And I remember being like, that was fucking really good. I really enjoyed it. I hadn't studied comedy or really much writing at all at that point. I started writing in 2013. I started world building for my fantasy world. So by 2015, I was like, oh shit, that's really cool. Like, what a cool approach to stand-up comedy. And I think for the next 9 years, it held up okay. Because when he was hanging out with Stav, man, he was light. He wasn't constantly trying to take it to the defending of billionaires and the Palantir's not actually all that bad. Hilarious Lord of the Rings reference, by the way. Joe List, you fuck. Anyway, so, whatever I was just talking about.
4 hours is long enough.
Oh yeah, Joe Rogan in 2024. When this came out, Anthony's joke kind of does apply to me. I guess I am a loser. But, tell that to the winner chicken dinner I got a few days ago on PUBG.
My brother-in-law is Joe Rogan's.
Hey, stop that!
Lewis is yelling at the audience.
Brother-in-law is a
Hey, stop that!
Conspiracy theorist. A crazy conspiracy theorist. Like, my brother-in-law refuses to become an organ donor because he swears that if you get into an accident and the paramedics see that you're an organ donor, they won't try to save your life because they want to use your organs to help someone else.
But it turns out they're actually cannibals, and I killed a baby.
It's insane, but I can't argue with him. He's a paramedic.
Good subversion of expectation. On the Eek scale, he'd be getting a point for that. I feel like Jeselnik specials would probably kill pretty hard on my old scale of Eek.
Great.
Yeah,
Edit this all. Edit every piece of this podcast right now. This is ridiculous. We're trying to trash Anthony Jeselnik for attacking Joe and Tony. You're not understanding the point.
Yeah, we're trying to defend Senator Hinchcliffe over here 2 years ago and also now with me.
Can't do it with the actual comedy.
God damn it. You should have thought
You can't do it with the actual comedy. That's so funny.
Where's his podcast fodder?
there was a
Podcast fodder. See, these guys, they at least understand kind of the way the ship moves, They understand everybody's role on the ship. Sure, there are bucket boys who are dumping gross shit over, but there's also people up in the crow's nest who maybe have a good eye on something that you should be aware of. It's just funny. Him calling it podcast fodder demonstrates an awareness that I, credit where it's due, believe was taught to him by the great Red Ball.
middle part in there where we would have gotten at him, but you guys cut all the punchlines together. That worked out.
Yeah, maybe if you guys weren't laughing so hard, we could have heard the unfunny parts.
Louis J. Gomez. I genuinely like his own archetype of comedian, truly. Because for some of these stand-up comics, I don't think it's necessarily a slight that your specials don't score super well on the EEC scale, because it's not a remark on how funny you are as a person. It's a mark on how well written and how well performed I personally find that particular piece of work. It's by no means a condemnation for the rest of who you are. You're clearly, if you got to the point where you have this big special that has 100K fucking views, you know, you don't need me to tell you that you yourself are not funny, right? Or not. You are or you aren't funny. I'm critiquing the writing specifically. Futurama was a great show, but they had some real dog shit in the middle from time to time, right? And I don't mean the dog episode, which I skip every time. I just not... A brilliant person doesn't, in order to renew that brilliance, need to constantly put out good things. Right? Right? You know, Jim Morrison had to go to the grocery store, man. It wasn't all art. Just the stuff we saw at that time. And now we've got this, you know, this new era where we can see these things like this podcast fodder, as I'm showing you now. And we can demonstrate, like, oh no, you know, Louis J. Gomez is a real one. He's funny in just his everyday. He's funny in the way that he approaches things. He's funny in the way that he thinks. He's funny in the way that he interacts with other funny people. His special got a 6.5, but that was before the EEC scale was actually, like, fleshed out. Okay, everyone, so chill. If Louis asks, I will redo the whole thing on the actual EEC scale, and I'll do it live, and I'll dedicate it to Big J. Okerson. As long as he doesn't get too horny after I do it, because Big J, it's my biggest problem with you, bro. You've got an overactive libido for a man your age, and I think that's cool and all. To be honest with you, if that's my problem when I'm 67, like you are or whatever, that's not a bad problem to have, you virile bastard. But please stop talking about tits. Anyway, so what I'm demonstrating here is the natural funniness of a man called Louis J. Gomez.
I think...
By the way, Louis J. Gomez was my joke first. On YouTube.
Probably some in there that sucks, right?
I think I agree with the audience.
It was so tight, the economy of words was mesmerizing.
Okay, but I love that every time Jay talks about writing comedy, he always says the economy of words. I feel like a really good comic once taught him that. I do the same thing, right? I'm not well educated. I've just picked up some buzzwords I know how to throw around.
We can't wait.
But what is intelligence if not the application of acquired knowledge? Google it.
For you to have Anthony Jeselnik on the podcast.
I'd love to have him on.
I swear on myself,
Doesn't like us.
we would love to have him on. He would.
He draw eyes.
So, Legion of Skanks, for whatever reason, they think that Anthony Jeselnik doesn't like them. I don't know why they think that.
So funny.
God damn it. We've never brought him being him being a closeted homosexual, not once on this show.
So wait.
Okay.
We've never said it.
A confirmed
You know who else was?
fact.
According to himself,
We've never
Norm. And that's everyone's favorite guy now.
brought it up
Not
once.
once.
And do you know of the millions of times that we've hinted at it?
Shut up, Dave Smith. We're going past what you're saying.
About homosexuality. He is the.
What Dave Smith might have just been funny, but I don't care. I'm biased.
He's actually bi?
This is pride.
I thought it says biking.
Comedy Anthony Jeselnik opens up about his sexuality. Is he a bi king? What's his fucking line about 9/11? Steve Renazizi is like, oh, I thought it said biking. Oh, that's a good word joke. I like that.
I thought you said, is he biking? Sorry. I read it so
Biking
fast.
so much, I wonder if this guy's gay.
Is he a biking?
He's gay because he's biking? Oh.
He goes, sorry guys, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing
He
cat
hits
suits
riffs.
all the time. It's because I'm biking.
Well, he doesn't have a bike seat on his bike.
Nice.
All right, while we're waiting on this ad. By the way, Jake, if you're still around, I gave you a shout out, I think last episode or a couple episodes ago, because I do truly appreciate it. I think you're the only actual human we've had in the Twitch chat, so right on, brother. You the man, Jake.
Breaking my back, just I know your name.
I love that Lewis was...
How did we end up here?
Well, he doesn't have a bike seat on his bike.
Nice.
That, by the way, is Blink-182. He took the seat off his own bike because the way that it felt. He's not that old, I've been told. A strong sexual girl. They go out every night. His pants are super tight, oh yeah. They don't even care at all. Is that track 12 on Enema of the State? She's open waiting for more, and I know he's only looking to score. You guys love Enema of the State like I do? Of course you do.
I love that Lewis was...
I'm going to out with the old, in with the new real quick. And when I get back, we're going to maybe listen to a little bit more of this to make sure we're not missing anything. And then we will be doing a reading from the autobiography written by Corey Feldman, Choreography. Stick around, motherfuckers. Be right back. Fox music's giving me the vipers. By the way, before I forget, be sure to check out our music donor, Bard Fox. That's BARDFOX on YouTube. They got music over there, fantasy music like this. It's kind of contemporary meets fantasy stuff. You know, it's kind of like a drum set, but it's like... Yeah. So it grooves. All these songs, Blue Harp and this Double Check Your Pack, they are all 1 hour long. And they don't repeat a single time. So, I don't know what they're doing over there. It's kind of unique, sort of special to them. But I like it. And they've been very cool about letting us use their stuff. So check out Bardfox, Bardfox. Now let's go back to Legion of Skanks and see if they have anything else for us. I think my time codes are over, but I want to make sure we don't miss anything here. Because Luis J. Gomez is on fire. He's in his sweet spot.
This joke needs an act out. Let me hop up and down.
Go back a little bit.
Well, he doesn't have a bike seat on his bike.
Nice. Breaking my back, just I know your name.
I love that Lewis was like, this joke needs an.
Why was there a killer's joke? Jay, why are you making killer's jokes? Do you know something that we don't know? Are you somehow plugged in to the hidden meanings behind the songs of killers, songs that we are not as privy to? Jay?
Act out. Let me hop up and down.
Well, here's the thing. Not only is that Blink-182, it's also South Park. Right? Didn't they do that with the like e-bikes where it's like they do the like DP thing where it like like and you move accordingly? I'm almost certain that's a South Park thing. Which ironically, you know, that's the classic like South Park did it, which is a reference to South Park about an episode called The Simpsons Did It. Deep lore.
Good jokes.
I didn't know that he was he was
jokes.
officially bisexual.
I don't.
Now I feel bad about calling him gay.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you're a guy
Well, he's not.
bisexual,
Yeah, you know, the fact that he also has sex with people who have vaginas. That sort of isn't gay, but I hear you.
you're gay.
Good on you for caring. Jay, what'd you say? You gonna make me mad here, buddy?
I didn't know that he was officially bisexual.
When I say make me mad, I don't mean like you shouldn't be able to talk like that. It's just fans of the show know that friends of the show, as we call them now, because you guys are you're my homies. We're all parasocial as fuck together. Genuinely, if you put something in the comments, I'm gonna read it. If you put a link there, I'm gonna go check it out. Shout out to DC, my main man. But I went and subscribed to that comedian who does the like experimental stuff that you sent. I genuinely appreciate it, and I would like for anyone that's hearing this to follow DC's example. Okay, DC is like king friend, man. Like DC fucks. DC is very, very instrumental in the way that the show has continued to grow. And I'm not exaggerating or being hyperbolic at all, DC. Appreciate you, dog. And anyone that wants to follow DC's lead, please do. I will check out the links that you send. If you outright insult me, I may throw a little bit of fire back, or I might just be like, LOL, thanks for the comment. So genuinely, continue to share your thoughts and your beliefs.
I don't.
Now I feel bad about calling him gay.
Oh, but anyway, friends of the show know that I love a guy that just throws around words. What did I say about Dan Soder? I said you can't be sensitive and also not care about the effect your words have on other humans. So, you know, call the things that you hate gay if you want, but people like me who aren't going to tell you how to talk, I want you to be able to say whatever you think. I wish everyone just did that. Just immediately shared their nearest impulse, because then we would know everyone a fuck of a lot better. My only warning to you is speak how you want, but you may give Druid the Punk an excuse to be cruel to you publicly. And honestly, genuinely, that's the biggest favor you could do for me. So let's hear what Jay, the context in which Jay uses the term gay, shall we?
Listen, if you're a guy bisexual, you're gay.
Yeah. No,
Just
that's
not
very.
ready.
Jay, so what's that make you, big guy?
That's very-
I remember the red bar coverage of you, Mr. I Kiss Men for Laughs. Kind of gayer than a bi man, right? I don't know, because at least a bi man is following the will of his cock. You're just doing it because you're an attention whore, right? You're just doing it because you were poor and didn't have a dad, and now you're just hoping that people will give you that fulfillment that you never got. It's why you dye your hair red, isn't it, Jay? Because you're so straight. Awesome, bro. Anyway, speaking of Jay, I do believe that he was reading this book publicly before I was. However, I decided I was going to do it before I knew that. So, without further ado, we're going to have a sip of the old blue. And we're going to be doing a reading from the autobiography written by Corey Feldman, Choreography. When last we met Corey, he was in the car on the way to, I believe, a water park, maybe an amusement park, with him, his father, and the cast of the show on CBS, Bad News Bears, on which he had recently been cast. So, as they're riding, Corey smells a familiar smoky smell. For 'tis the smell of ganja. And they're smoking a joint as they're driving their kids to this amusement park. Corey's dad, because Corey's like 7 at the time, Corey's dad, the other cast dads, and a third thing to close off my list. I didn't know anything about drugs, and my parents weren't exactly the type to sit me down and talk about the dangers of them. With our family finances on the rise, we moved to a beautiful home at the top of a colossal hill in Tarzana, complete with huge Corinthian columns, a sweeping marble entryway, and a swirling spiral staircase. My dad traded in his old beater for a Mercedes, and my mother bought herself a Cadillac. We also hired a full-time maid. Technically, I was not allowed to ride my bike anywhere around my new neighborhood. The hills, my mother explained to me, were far too steep, and a scrape or a scratch might jeopardize my job. You have responsibilities now, she told me, shoving my bike into the far corner of our 2-car garage. But one particular morning, when my mother was asleep, I decided to take it out anyway. Clear blue, cloudless skies stretched for miles. I let go of the handlebars and leaned my head back, closing my eyes, feeling the sunlight warm on my face, until suddenly I was going too fast. I felt my foot slip from the pedal, the front tire shake from left to right, speed wobbles. And then I went careening over the handlebars, tumbling end over end down the street. When I recovered, the skin was gone from my elbow. I had scrapes all over my hands and face, and there was a pool of blood on the sidewalk. God damn it, Corey, my mother said when she saw me crying, covered in blood and gravel and snot. You're going to fuck everything up. I swear to God, if that director sends you home tomorrow, I'll make you wish you were tumbling down that hill. That'll feel like nothing compared to what I'm gonna do to you. The next day, I slid from my father's car and scampered over to the makeup lady's chair, set up just to the left of third base underneath an enormous yellow umbrella. Please fix it, I told her, trembling. My parents are going to kill me if I can't work. This has been a reading of the autobiography written by Corey Feldman, Choreography. So, my friends, without much further ado, but a little bit, just for vamping's sake, what we're going to do is a follow-up on last week. Now, I know this isn't contemporary comedy commentary gossip stuff, and I know this isn't me covering a comedian's special. Excuse me, Woodrow. This isn't me covering a comedian's special using the EEK scale. What I'm doing, just trust me, please, is providing an origin story for what, according to our tale, is an antagonist. Okay? Is that okay with you guys? Because what we're going to do, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to watch Stavros Halkias on Joe Rogan. This is his most recent second of 2 appearances on the old JRE. We're going to start 29 minutes in. Now, hear me out. You may have seen this. You may think you will learn nothing from watching me watch this. And to you I say, probably. But, for those of you who don't know Stav, and for those of you who are like of mind to me, we're getting all the ammunition we can, because what we're doing is we are getting to know a man that I believe the internet within the next few years will be turning on. I believe that his values aren't genuine. These leftist communist, I've said it before, I will say it 1,000 times again. Never trust a fat communist. They probably know something that you don't. By fat communist in this case, I'm talking about a millionaire, people. A millionaire who doesn't believe that you should spend your money on surgery for your beloved dog. He believes there's nothing to interrogate about the fact that you'll spend $2,000 on a surgery, but there are homeless people on the streets, while simultaneously never donating to a charity that he could prove, right? If I'm wrong, if you're a Stav fan and you saw my title and you're coming after my ass, show me in the comments. Send me a link, DC style. And I'll go check out his legitimacy behind these donations. But even if he's donating to charity, charity itself, correct me if I'm wrong, is a capitalist endeavor. You have an excess of wealth. You want to help out people that don't. You give some wealth over. So fuck it if he did contribute to charity. I don't think that he did, especially because he appears to have gained a good solid 47 pounds since his last appearance, which, let's see, this came out on June 27th of 2024. So about 2 years ago, straight up now. So right around the same era that this Legion of Skanks thing took place. So, we're going to get to know Stav a little better. But the reason, for those of you that don't know, the reason I even started exploring this Stav on Joe Rogan bullshit is because Stav, when he was talking about being on JRE, he mentioned how every time he goes on JRE, he just gets too high, and then he finds himself just nodding along to the things that Joe Rogan says. And that's totally valid, right? Like, Joe Rogan's always talking about immigrant stuff and conservative stuff, and he hates the woke, and he's always smoking big fat blunts on his show. Every time. Well, except for the last time Stavy was on. But surely, when he said, I always get too high, I'm not quoting exactly, but when he said, when you go on JRE, the problem is it's 3 hours long and you're smoking weed the whole time, you're going to end up agreeing with something you don't actually agree with. When he said that, apparently, he was only referring to this episode, right? Because he didn't get high at all in his last episode, and he's not a liar. He's not disingenuous. He's not misrepresenting who he actually is so that you may perceive him in a more favorable light. Why would he do that? He's a comic, they don't know why.
About his big fat ass.
There's a Trump rap song out.
Yeah.
There's an AI Trump rap where Trump raps.
Let's see. I don't like that because it's taking jobs out of good like Trump impersonators. You know what I mean?
It's a solid deflection, Stabby.
That should be.
Now, before you get in my comments and go, wait a minute, what is he holding that's smoking? Cigar. It's not a blunt. He's smoking a cigar.
That's why he had a Shane's pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me wait till he pulls it up to
AI
his
has gone
fucking
too far.
big old hole. That's a cigar, okay? It's got the golden label on it and everything. So before any of you who don't know what a goddamn blunt is try to come at a motherfucker like me about this being weed, it's fucking not. Why don't you smoke one of each and get back to me the next day?
Yeah.
Listen to that kissing of that fucking... Hey, you're not gonna get your dick sucked if you don't smoke a cigar like you want it to come on. Right. I'm sorry, Stav puts me in this mood. You're about to watch a transformation. I'm about to lose my shit on this guy.
AI has gone too far.
Yeah.
Give him a little kiss.
Yeah.
What happens with that guy?
Got to give, got to give, got to give. I get to give I got to give Rogan a little kiss. Yeah, got to give, got to give. Oh, Nako. Oh, Nako.
With who? Shane?
Trump.
Trump? Shane's doing great. Shane's great. He just bought
a Mercedes.
I know. It's fucking awesome. I went to his...
A Mercedes? That's what Corey Feldman's dad bought.
I took him to the Mercedes dealership. I was the fucking hype man.
Dude.
I was in the back seat going, dude, I was telling him about all the features. Dude, the back wheels steer.
Yeah. Dude, he was... So I went...
Yeah.
When I was here last, when I was at the mothership, I wanted to hit the pool. I was like, yo, Shane, let's fucking hang out. And he wasn't there. He was like, you can just go hang out at my house. I'm the first person to ever... I was just alone in Shane's house doing fucking cannonballs into his pool, looking at his car. I was just like, he was like, go in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you sound awesome in this story.
Doing fucking cannonballs into his pool, looking at his car. I was just like, he was like, go in.
That's awesome.
Feel it.
His house is dope.
Dude.
Okay. It's still early. Stav still has his guard up, you know? His arms aren't tired yet. His guard is still quite high.
It's out of control.
It's very nice. Beautiful place.
Oh my god.
I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy he's here too.
Yeah.
No, it's so awesome having him at the club all the time. Working on new shit. It's like we got a great vibe there now.
Ooh, Joe's giving the soft pitch. She's saying, hey, Joe List, we got a good thing going here. You know how all those New York comedians, they're cruel to you? They say you have a tiny mouth, Joe? We don't say stuff like that here. Not to a white man. What we say is stuff about...
Dude, the club fucking rules, dude.
So fun.
It's so awesome.
Stabby loves the club. It fucking rules. Dude, it's fucking awesome.
We got a great vibe.
I got my dick sucked.
I'm there now.
Dude, the club fucking rules, dude.
So fun.
He got himself a little piece of pussy.
So awesome. It really is.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's nice to just pop in. You got the fucking... the bottom of the barrel show's fun. You just fucking riff it.
Hey, bottom of the barrel, that's us, my mans. Right? According to American Read Act, we're the bottom of the barrel, folks. We sit, sip, and overanalyze professional jokes.
The crowds are always good.
Bottom of the barrel shows is literally like a factory for premises.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if you can't
See, isn't this Joe kind of cool? He's wearing a hoodie that's got like Elvis wearing sunglasses. Not unfamiliar, not unsimilar to mine.
create the moment.
There's something in there.
Because a lot of times...
Something in there. What are you talking about stuff?
The crowds are always good.
Bottom of the barrel shows is literally like a factory for premises.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if you can't recreate the moment...
There's something in there.
Because a lot of times it's like there's a crazy moment that makes you go down a certain...
Also, if you compare this Joe to 2 years later Joe, like right now, contemporary Joe Rogan, it makes me worried about his health. He's puffy. Why is he so puffy? His eyes, he's got big bags under his eyes from not sleeping because he's afraid the goddamn government's gonna cark him. I think genuinely, I don't know, but I think like he looks like he's constantly fucking tired. This motherfucker in the last few years has aged like a president. Joe Rogan looks sleepy, dog, and he looks a little afraid, and he looks wary, which is like beware, wary. So, in these days, he was still loose.
Pass.
Yeah.
I'm loose.
Yeah, yeah.
Back of my legs.
You know, so but you have to figure out how to get to that moment.
Yeah, well, when you're on stage, it's like, and you're only using, it's like survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you haven't pre-thought of anything, and there's some deep part of your brain that just something awesome will come.
Oh shit! How would you ever put on a show where you didn't have it pre-written? Oh fuck! How could you be funny without writing several things and then editing those several things several times? No one's ever pulled that off. Stop.
I'm out of that.
Yeah.
10% of the time.
Yeah,
but that
that's
10% is
Will
fucking.
you just for a second just go, Dotson? We got Dotson over here. See, nobody cares.
That's some good shit right
Every
there.
now and then. Yeah, I got 2 last week that are like legit, that I'm like watering them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you're going to be a tree someday, little Billy.
And everyone hated when Joe used to talk about comedy with comics like this. Let me ask those people. If you're one of those people, you very well might be. May I ask, are you satisfied with the topics now? Are you stoked that Joe stopped talking about the thing which he is at least expertise adjacent to? Are you glad that now all he can talk about is Palantir and his billionaire friends, how they're not actually that bad? Are you stoked on that? Are you glad he was talking about world issues so he got roped into this whole fucking election and now his show is going to end probably in the next few years because otherwise Joe's heart is going to stop according to his bags under his eyes? Are you happy with that? Or would it have been fine if he just talked to comedians about fucking comedy, man, rather than what you hate now, which is him talking constantly and incessantly about right-wing political talking points? You hated when he talked about comedy, and now are you stoked? Are you glad that he's just talking about politics? I'm not. I missed this. At least he knew what he was talking about then. At least he wasn't affecting the real world. At least he wasn't altering the world our children will grow up in. At least he didn't fuck with that at all. He was just talking about the 2 premises that he was currently watering. But everyone lost their shit when they're like, stop talking about comedy, comedians. We're sick of it. Talk about something else. And it's like, I wish they wouldn't have listened to the uninformed masses. Because there were a ton of you. But now we have contemporary Joe Rogan. And you did that. It's your fault. You guys who are constantly haranguing him about talking, or calling funny comedian, Joe Rogan, always talking about comedy, until he stopped talking about comedy, and then he pissed all over the world.
Put a little splint in it. One of the Leafs is going fucking.
It's the most fun thing in comedy is the new bits and new premises. It's making something work.
It's the only thing that feels good.
Oh.
It's like even being like, even a sold out theater, it's cool, but a new joke in a shitty bar feels 10 times better than.
Here's the thing, I actually totally get that, and this is why one of the many reasons that I've never done well long term in bands. Because when you're in a band, any band you've ever seen, right? They've got a set. If they're an opening band, they've got 5 to 8 songs, depending on their song lengths. They cover about 15 to 20 minutes. When you hear that band and you're like, wow, that was a great set. They've played that set again and again and again and again and again and again and again. They don't stop. They just practice those same fucking songs, and they might add a song or 2 here and there, but then you build up to an album and you play it again and again and again and again and again. You just keep rehearsing the same shit, and for a guy like me, I lose my mind. I can't just keep playing the same 6 songs ever, but especially for a year, for 2 years, for 10 years, like some of these bands do. They'll just tour on the same music. I can't do that. And so I'd write things on my little keyboard, And then I'd take it to my band, and they'd be like, Jimbo, we need to work the set list. And I'm like, I know the set list. Maybe you guys should be working the fucking set list at home while I'm writing new shit that you're refusing to learn because you want to learn the set list. So I get where Stavros is coming from here, where he's like, I would take an underperforming new bit over a tired bit that crushes in front of an arena. I actually 100% can relate to that. Not on that scale, but it's divisible by 10 down to where I sit, right?
Selling out of 3,000.
By
100,000 seats.
Yeah, when something cracks for the first time, you realize you got something, you're like, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Because like there's this process of creation that's just so weird. Like you never know. One day I'm gonna run out of new ideas.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna run out of new jokes. I'm gonna be like,
I haven't written a song in like 6 years. The originals you've heard I wrote in my 20s and even before that. So yeah, I get that.
Those guys that just have the same material for 50 years.
I know. And that was what it... I mean, it does feel weird because it's like... I do feel like...
Not 6 years, like... Realistically, 4. Because I played, My hair don't hang like it used to. I don't need to drink, still I choose to. That one's from, like, I think 2022. And that year, I put out on GarageBand 1 song a day for the entire year. Opal Punk.
The last 10 years?
This full disclosure, lost my mind about halfway through 2022. Shit gets a little too wonky on me, and my brain is just like, Johnny Two Fingers. I'm Gypsy Two Fingers. Peace. I will fuck right off. I'll come back months later and go, oh shit.
There's been a real...
So you could listen to some actual madness personified in an audio format, and then go back a little farther and you can hear some of my stuff that I am quite proud of.
Shift and like... You just...
Look up the song Fortune, or Fortune. Starts off like, and that goes from there.
Just gotta fucking be putting shit out.
Well, there's
Fortune by Opal Punk. You'll find me.
So much content out there, and there's also so many people that come to comedy now.
Yeah.
I don't think comedy has ever been bigger. Ever.
This is 2024, by the way.
There's way more comics that
right.
selling out arenas. There's way more comics that have specials.
Yeah. For example, Fat Rascal on Netflix. December
Oh my
5th.
God.
Ooh, a little plug. Okay, I will be right back. I need to attend to a business meeting, as they say. going back. We're coming back. We're on a motherfucker way back. We're on a way back right now.
Stavros Halkias. Stavros Halkias.
Cool. Hope you guys had a good meantime. We're going back. Gonna hit up some Stavros Halkias on JRE Experience 2072. For those of you following along at home, we are at 35:15. Also, why are you following along at home?
That comes out tomorrow.
Comes out tomorrow, yeah. That's right. That's Fat Rascal.
Oh, shit. No, you just did not, Joseph. He said, your special comes out tomorrow. Stavy is like, you're damn right it does tomorrow. How about that? That worked out well. And what does Joe call him?
Yeah. For example, Fat Rascal on Netflix. December
Oh my
5th.
God, that comes out
that
tomorrow.
Comes out tomorrow, yeah. That's right.
Stavros! You guys remember on Protect Our Parks? When Joe is referring, and this happens after this, I believe, when Joe is referring to Stavros as Stavos. And Ari was like, just call him Stavros. And Joe was like, huh. He called him Stavros to his face.
More comics that have specials.
Yeah. For example, Fat Rascal on Netflix. December
Oh my
5th.
God, that comes out
that
tomorrow.
Comes out tomorrow, yeah. That's right.
Stavros! 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 Stavros, no R. Stavros! You don't like when people use the hard R. I guess we'll just call you Stavros.
That's Fat Rascal shot here in the beautiful Paramount.
You bitch ass didn't correct him? You've spent, let's see, it was 3.5 hours last time, a half an hour so far into this. You spent 4 hours talking to this motherfucker, and he calls you Stavros, and you don't go, bitch, what? Do you not know my name is Stavros? And you go, oh, I mispronounced it. You go, I forgive you. Then you get the high road. You just gotta pretend like you didn't hear him ignore your hard R.
That's right. That's Fat Rascal shot here in the beautiful Paramount Theater.
Great fucking theater.
Really fucking awesome.
Cool old school theater.
Yeah, dude. It was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know. Now we know that Joe literally didn't know your name, bro. I was last episode trying to make this point of like, what the fuck, Stavy? Like, he was being so nice to you. You guys were getting along so well. Why would you then wait a few years and then decide you're just gonna turn on the guy? I hate Joe Rogan. Oh, if I go on Joe Rogan, I get too high and I talk about the immigrants. It's like, actually, I kind of get it. Whether you noticed it or whether you were willing to call it out or not, he called yo ass Stavros in front of living multiple a centerton. A hell of a lot of people.
Someone who's been BBL'd in the
I don't.
titties.
Listen, I didn't say that. I'm just saying I want it all. Give me a sampler pack.
Okay, we're talking about BBLs, which for those of you that don't know is a British butt laugh.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of authentic.
Grass-fed.
Authentic
You know what I
cuisine.
mean? Yeah.
You want to go to Chinatown sometimes for Chinese
Absolutely.
food.
Yeah, sometimes you want to go to
you don't want
Beijing.
Panda Express.
No.
You want to get the real deal.
No, the Panda Express will hit the spot.
It's not bad every now and then if you're at the mall. You want some orange chicken?
You're at the mall, getting your dick sucked.
Getting your dick sucked. Classic
Yes.
Stav. I wouldn't feel comfortable if I was watching anything Stav did and he didn't talk about getting his dick sucked a little.
Zara employee in the bathroom.
Jesus Christ.
Just taking the metaphor to its logical conclusion.
Go as far as you can go with it. I support your thought process.
But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel worldly jacking off to Japanese porn. You know, like what?
So in the first episode that he was on, he kept talking about how he wanted like a bodybuilder lady. Well, apparently he's really into Japanese shit now because he keeps saying this.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel worldly jacking off to Japanese porn. You know, like watching a foreign film.
Like a guy who, a guy who brags about reading old books.
Right, seriously. It's like some guys will like, you know, they'll put out books to make people think that they're super smart, and it's like, dude, why?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like watching a Godard film or whatever, you know?
When
Nope.
I first met Callan, first time I ever went over his apartment, he leaves books laying out as if he's reading them.
We're not getting into Callan stuff, okay? You guys were right. Look, everyone was right about Callan. I was never insistent that Callan is a good guy. I was insistent that False Gods was not as bad as Gringo Papi, okay? You can go watch my video. It's called You're Wrong About Brian Callan's False Gods. It's got like 200 views. So over here is a pretty big deal, my friends. And we do some looking into the Callan allegations before we get into his comedy, and it's... Excuse me, Woodruff. It provides a bit of uncomfortable context, let's just say.
He had like Steinbeck.
Go check it out.
Back of Mike.
After this, because we still got another solid hour of some CTE, baby!
Men, and I go, hey, motherfucker, I know you're not reading this.
Also, that's
and
when you read.
He goes, hey, motherfucker, I know you're not reading this. And, like, fuck posers like that, right? Honestly, like, if you are trying to broadcast to the world how worldly you are, how smart or intelligent or well-read you are, by changing, like, by putting a book out, or, like, I don't know, in some weird sci-fi world, like if you could change the cover of your book, like say you were reading something that was super fucking trashy and you could change the cover so other people think you're reading something else, it's a good thing that's impossible, because that would be a perfect metaphor for a grift, right? Hey, I'm somebody who I know you want me to think I want you to think I am. I'm this guy. I'm the guy that reads this thing. I don't know, like some kind of like civil rights shit or whatever. If you're like, say you were trying to fool a bunch of leftist chicks into thinking you were on their side, and you, I guess, put like some kind of, you were reading something trashy and you saw a leftist chick and you were like, oh fuck, and you punched into your little Kindle, I guess, real quick, some civil rights book or something, like you'd be a real piece of shit. Like, it would be very indicative that you'd be willing to scale that up. Like, say, if you were a famous comedian, if you're willing to... let's hear him out.
School.
His eyebrows raised. He goes, I do read it. I go, you don't, do you? You want people to think you're interesting. You leave these books out.
Yeah. Which,
you
by
do,
the way,
right?
Huh?
And by people, I mean girls.
Of course.
Like, you want girls to think you're interesting, so you...
Okay, well, that's a little eerie.
Leave these books out, pretending that you're like worldly.
You know what's so funny is that I have an e-reader thing, and I was reading like, you know, some book about, like I was reading like about Goodfellas, or like, you know, some trashy, like, or not even trashy, but like a detective thing, and then I
something that you genuinely like, right?
Switched it up to like, you know, something smart on the outside, some shit about like civil rights or something.
You notice how nowadays he's constantly talking about things like civil rights or whatever? It's almost like he took this model where he's posing for leftists to get his dick sucked, and he magnified that. He exacerbated that. He turned that into a larger and larger and larger, multiplied that form many, many times until he's now full on one of the guys doing the left-wing grift. Now, I want to be so fucking clear right now. There are left-wing comics, people who are always leftists, or people who are always liberal, who are now dabbling in leftism because they think it makes them punk or whatever. Gianmarco Zaresi has always been a very left-leaning man. Have we ever seen Gianmarco Zaresi on JRE talking about how he sometimes poses to look like more of a leftist than he actually is? Just to get like a little piece of pussy, you know. Huh. It's almost like he's lying to all of you. Redact? It's almost like he knows you want to see this cover of a book rather than a Goodfellas cover of a book, and he knows you're the ones who are paying his Patreon rent. And if you saw that he was actually interested in something like Goodfellas over something like, say, civil rights, that you might stop paying him, or, in a metaphorical sense, stop sucking his dick. Boy, wouldn't that be tragic for a guy like Stav?
Something like that.
So that people would know. You can switch it on the outside.
You can switch it on the outside. It's just like I've done that before.
What is the outside?
Oh, you've switched on the outside, Stav? Have you switched on the outside to fool leftists into believing you're one of them for your own gain? Oh, you're talking about books. That's my beef.
Look like
it's just like a screen.
It's just you gotta go out. You gotta tell people I don't like the right. I think they're Nazis. I think communism, and I think Mamdani. And now I get my dick sucked by the blue hairs. I got my dick sucked by a blue hair non-binary the other day. I got me a little piece of penis.
So
there's an outside screen too?
I can say it, assholes.
Yeah, just the screen, right, of the e-reader, and it'll just show what you're reading.
Right.
And I was reading.
Not for any particular reason. It's just because I don't live in the UK.
Like I said, some fucking book about, I was reading.
Topical. You want me to stop talking about comedy and start getting into politics? Oh, maybe I'll get my dick sucked.
Reading about the Phoenix Sun, 7 seconds or less. I read a lot of basketball books, that.
Oh, that's super cool of you. East Coast all day. We love basketball out here in the East Coast of America.
Kind of shit. And then a girl was coming around. I was like, let's do some fucking. I don't even know what I had. Some book I started, never even finished. I was like,
why would you finish it? It's about civil rights. We don't actually care about that, right? Stop.
Like,
let's pretend I'm smart.
Or even like,
let's pretend I'm smart. Wow. Well, he really summed you up in a single sentence, didn't he?
Shit girls like
shit girls like civil rights and shit.
Murakami book,
No.
It's a Murakami
He's
book.
Good for you, Joe. Actually asking.
Good, dude. Those are good books. They're like dreamy Japanese books.
Japanese again? Weird.
Back to the Japanese thing. I don't know. It's a book about, the guy does a lot of like magic. It's like some magical realism.
By the way, pretty crazy that you're just going on JRE and pretending you're just playing cool, right? Excuse me, would you? Here's the thing. It'd be one thing if Stav had been going on JRE and Joe had never tried to push any right-wing talking points to him. It would be one thing if Joe was just like completely changed. All of a sudden on November 4th of 2024, he was just like, never mind, dude, I like Trump. And everyone was like, oh my God, what? But listen to the things he's saying to Stav. Stav knew the whole time that Joe is a right-leaning centrist, who's now a Republican, I would argue, but a right-leaning centrist. And Stav, rather than engaging in any of this like political discussion that Joe keeps throwing out toward him, he just keeps deflecting it. He's doing a leftist deflect where he talks about, hey, that thing, but maybe that thing's not so bad. He never calls him out on it. He sits here and pretends like there's no way Joe could be a conservative man. And then after Joe endorses contemporary President Trump, Stabby turns on him entirely. as though there was no way for him to know that Joe was a closeted conservative man, as though there was absolutely no way he could have ever known that Joe might endorse President Trump, or as though he's the kind of guy who could ignore political beliefs just long enough to fool a leftist into thinking he likes civil rights.
Some shit. It's all about,
so to speak.
It's always like a guy who, there's always like an insane woman.
Point being, he went on Joe Rogan and he fucking pillaged a bunch of his audience that he now continues to have. Like, I don't know how to use the Wayback Machine. Excuse me, but I bet if you did, you could go back and watch the Rogan bump in real time, because this was some of the last gasp of the Rogan bump, right? This was some of the, like, 2024, before the Trump thing, was really the last time. I mean, he wasn't polarizing then. There was the 2020 stuff with the whole, like, masks and all that shit. And that was, like, the first real rearing of the head, because that and taxes in California for the Spotify deal are what pushed Joe and so Tony Hinchcliffe and Kill Tony down to Austin, Texas. Right? So that had already happened, but like there was enough plausible deniability, and also Stavi wasn't really pretending to be a staunch leftist in this time. A mere 2 years ago, an entirely different man. Curious, is it not?
Who has like BPD, and it's always some nerd. And in the book, the nerd always fucks the girl really well. I don't know what that is about.
You're the nerd stuff.
Check it out, man.
I wish you were a fucking nerd, bro. Text Justin, Sam Miller. What the fuck? Jake, look. It's the old version of when I wrote down Sam Miller. Look, I just found this other sticky note. This is the one I wrote today, buddy. This is the one I wrote last time. Just so you know, I'm not placating you and being disingenuous. I genuinely plan on it. This brain of mine's got a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. But I respect you, Jake, and I look forward to checking out this Sam Miller shit. Thanks for hanging out, my man.
Men Without Women.
Haruki Murakami. Great stuff.
What I talk about when I talk about running.
By the way, Stavi, you can hear him hitting something. He is hitting a cigar.
I haven't read that one.
Huh. Norwegian Wood.
Norwegian
I
Wood's
know that
good.
guy.
I want better girl, I say she want that me.
Norwegian.
I've seen his work.
yeah. It's blurred out, but
he's
it's good.
the reason why Ron Jeremy had a career.
Yeah, just some blonde 6'4" guy.
Some Fabio-looking motherfucker with a giant hog.
Yeah.
So what he's referring to is like, Stavros was like, it's crazy. You used to be able to be an ugly guy and you could get away with being in pornography. And Joe, fairly sagaciously, was like, well, I mean, like, you know, you don't, like a ripped dude in a porno is gonna like make you feel bad for not being a ripped dude, but you see a guy like Ron Jeremy who's all fat and out of shape and balding with long hair and greasy looking motherfucker, but he's got a big old hog on him. That's why a guy like Ron Jeremy used to be so popular. So that's what they're referring to here.
And 6'4" guy.
Some Fabio-looking motherfucker with a giant hog.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in Norwegian Wood, he fucks two. He fucks an old lady and a young woman.
Wow.
Yeah. That shows you what I'm getting out of literature, by the way. It's just that who's the main character is getting pussy out of him. There's some fucking, like, professor listening to this, like, that guy's dumb as shit. That's what he gets out of Murakami, but what can I say?
Hey.
Terrible, terrible version of all this.
They're nice dreamlike books.
Art is open to interpretation. Different people get different things.
I'm a simple man. I see things through one lens.
You should.
Which lens?
Be you.
Yeah.
You don't need to be those motherfuckers. How many professors have you ever met that are happy? Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know many professors, but I think all of the professors I know were pretty happy. Also, to be fair, conservative. Yeah, whatever. Excuse me, would you? I'm not trying to delve into my point from last week, but it's not an infallible point.
Yeah. Seem perpetually conflicted.
Yeah, just the ones
tortured.
Just the ones.
To be clear, last week I was like, "Oh, we're gonna pretend that colleges aren't all liberal." That's what we're going to do. But also, then I think about it after listening back to it, and I'm like, actually, the college professors that I know are, like, pretty based. So, retraction? Question mark?
Who fuck their students, I'm pretty sure.
And they can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
That was like the main reason to be a professor. Back in the Feynman days, like, those guys all banged their graduate students. That was like part of the thing. They had these really hot 22-year-old students that are enamored by this amazing professor with his PhD and a full library of books that he probably hasn't even read yet. Yeah, actually, he probably has read them, which is even more incredible.
Yeah.
He's not running a scam.
Exactly. That's the payoff. Yeah, you think in the like application process or the interview process, they're like, look, we can't offer you that much money, but here's a picture of all the girls that got in this year. Here's how good. Here's the quality.
No, not only do they get.
Stavros is joking about taking advantage of a what do they call that? What is it? Power dynamic.
Paid?
Disproportionate? That's not it.
Well, they get tenure, so they can't even get fired. But I bet they can get fired now if they bang their students.
Yeah. Also, I feel like I think higher ed in general is fucked.
When do you think they stop banging their students? What?
You think it's higher ed in general is fucked? I'm sorry. I don't think that this is a part of the point for this whole story, but you know me, I like a little dip off.
Is it the same time
They call me Dippo.
they stop fucking
Dippo the punk.
kids?
Excuse me.
Definitely after that.
Sorry.
I think that was like
More recent?
I think that was more recent. I think people are still picking their spots and fucking their students.
Really?
Grads.
We're moving on. What? Oh, shit. I done exited off of my show notes. Pulling it back up. We're going to be okay, my phrase. Oh, that's right. That's right. We're going to get into some of that later. I think we got plenty of time to do all this, but we are going to continue on in our time codes. Level 29. Here we go. All right, we're going up to 5130. 5130. Please don't hurt me. 5130. Hope you don't hurt me.
Bunch of like.
It's never been.
All right, so it's loading up. That's cool. Crazy that I just found this, isn't it, Jake? That's weird. Keep it nearby. This is why I left a little bit of context into the note this time. Jake's suggest, and then ION on the side. See? ION. Jake's suggest. All right, let's hear him out.
You know, horny women aren't coming out to
That's true.
to a nebbishy.
He's talking about horny women.
To 20-year-old Ari that you met with Matt Rife's act. He's not selling out fucking arenas.
That is true.
It's
It's
this
got
guy.
that going for him.
Yeah.
Like, the audience is like half MILFs.
Turn it down a little bit. That's my beat.
Totally.
It's a MILF thing.
I might put it over half.
Yeah, it's
Just
a
from
lot of like these older ladies.
Yeah.
But they're still hot.
Totally.
Older ladies who are still hot. I guess those are a couple of the qualifying factors for a MILF, end quote. But Joe, are you familiar with that concept? You know that, right? Like it's right, like you're not about to say something super embarrassing or anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Like a hot grandma.
I love a hot grandma.
A hot 46-year-old grandma is pretty hard to beat.
There's a different word for that, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Had him young. She's a teen mom. Teen mom whose kid also had kids at 18.
And now she sees that young Matt Rife. She's like, yummy.
Absolutely. I think that is who gets milk. MILFs.
Holy shit, yeah, I guess if I would have had kids at 18, then my kids had kids at 18, I could be a grandfather right now. Okay.
They're not into me. I do get it's younger women are into me just because I think it's like the MILF.
Go back a little bit. I don't remember this. What?
To me. I do get it's younger women are into me just because I think it's like the MILFs want.
What the fuck?
On a little guy, like a little handsome to feel like young again. And I think like hot younger women want like
fun.
Just a fun,
They want laughs.
Little
Yeah, hot younger women are into people like Stav.
daddy thing too. You're a big fat piece of shit.
Okay, but aren't you the type of guy who would be really against that? Because Stav's my age. I think we were born like within 4 months of each other. 6 months maybe. But genuinely, like, I think he's a 1990 baby and I'm a 1989 baby. For the record, I partied fucking hard in the 80s, bro. I genuinely, like, let's just say the snow was flying in the 80s when I was there, okay? Okay? I was born in December of 89, but I partied so hard in the 80s, I literally don't remember any of them. I can't remember a single day from the 80s, bro. But I'm an 80s baby. Like Soder in that way. And other ways. Many other ways, in fact. In fact, I'm mostly Soder. If I had to break it down, I'm 71% Soder. 29% Joe List.
I like that. The thing about comics, though, I think the big one is that they're funny. And that...
Joe? Everyone is turning on you, and so as a contrarian, it's sort of my job to devil's advocate. But, bruv, you make it so hard for people to have your back when you say shit like this.
Like that. The thing about comics, though, I think the big one is that they're funny.
Do you? Here's why I could never be a Stavros Halkias, because I just lack the capacity to hear someone say something like this and be like, yep, sure, the thing about comics is that they're funny. Yep. Oh, that's so stupid. Of course it is. That's like saying the thing about words is that they're out loud. It's like... Sure, not always, but in any important context, what's the written word? Ever done.
That's
for anyone.
What's attractive, because...
Yeah, I hear it.
You know, like, what's the percentage of women that are funny? It's a smaller percentage than guys.
Probably.
Stop! That's not very leftist of you at all, bro. In fact, if my actual leftist friends were to hear you talk like that, well, by Joe, they might think you're not genuinely a leftist, or that you're quite reformed in 2 years. You must have seen the light, or did you see something a little more tangible? Did you see a pattern, Stavros? Did you notice that people like Tony Hinchcliffe, who you constantly bitch about these days, got huge off his right-wing grift? And are you noticing the pendulum? Well, it's a pendulum. It's pendulous. It must eventually, when having reached its climax on the other side, swing back the other way. Stop. Are you just trying to get out in front of that pendulum? But, like, women aren't as funny as men, right? Totally. So, take that up with Dan Soder. His fucking fiancée done saved his life. If it weren't for her, he wouldn't have any self-worth. She taught him to value himself. Per something we'll cover in the next few weeks.
For whatever the reason. There's funny women out there, don't get me wrong. But if we're just being honest,
well, I think
we have to grade on a curve.
It's probably getting...
Must we?
It's probably...
Yes.
It goes back to the whole, what we were talking about with, like, secretaries.
But here's the thing. You put someone like Jordan Jensen up next to someone like Stavi or someone like Joe Rogan, and maybe it's a quality over quantity thing, but Jordan Jensen blows you motherfuckers out of the water. I've seen your crowd work now, Stav. I know what you... Oh, little dick suck. Oh, you got with the dick suckers. Oh, you two are together? You're not together. Why would you be with them? I've seen your fucking crowd work, and I've seen Jordan Jensen's crowd work. And Jordan Jensen is the real deal. Jordan Jensen wouldn't care what cover of her Kindle that other people saw. She's just like a cool, very talented comedian who is succeeding accordingly. Not at this point in time. But it's, yeah, probably that's true. There are way more funny stand-up comedian men. It's like, yeah, sure, right now. But you gotta wonder how many of these chicks stay home because people like Stavi are out there trying to get his dick sucked.
Shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
If doesn't think women are that fucking funny, though.
It goes back to the whole what we were talking about with like secretaries and shit, right? Up until very recently.
So it used to be what they were talking about for context. Was that it used to be like you would be a secretary and what your job was at that point was to try to get the man to cheat on his wife with you so that you could have, a wifely life or whatever. That's what they're talking about.
To the whole what we were talking about with like secretaries and shit, right? Up until very recently, you kind of had to play a subservient role where like if you were funnier than a guy, you had to hide it. Like you weren't like rewarded for it until probably 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Like what about rich women?
Yeah.
What when rich women start dating guys who have regular jobs? Like what is that? Yeah. That's got to be insane.
Why, Joe? Why? That's what Stavi does, right? Does Stavi date other famous people? Or does he go after women with whom there is a disparity in the power dynamic? By the way, that was the word I was looking for earlier.
I bet you some of them like it. I think because the women who are like...
they like it.
Yeah.
You think the dude likes it?
No, because how could a man ever be financially cooked by his girl and then still feel like a man, though?
If he knows what's good for him.
He knows what's fucking good for him. He's getting his dick sucked. He's got to take care of the pool. That's it.
Sign me up, dude.
Sign me up, dude.
Be a kept man.
I'll be a fucking kept man. I'll take care of your pool.
That sounds fucking awesome.
That sounds fucking awesome.
But the thing is, if the man has his own dreams of greatness.
Overrated.
Neither of you are right. Dreams of greatness are fun. I had some great dreams last night. Last night I dreamt that I got busted. So I watch a lot of body cam footage these days. And last night I dreamed that someone tried to put some kind of like future cop, tried to put some kind of like futuristic handcuffs on me. And instinctively I went like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he was like, stop resisting. And he fucking threw my ass around, which by the way is what they do. And it was interesting because I always go, that's what you get for pulling away. And then I watched myself in my dream last night like, hold on. I wasn't trying to resist arrest. I was just trying to argue against arrest in my dream, of course. But it was like, then I went to jail and then I was like in the police station and they like reached in my pocket and pulled out an ounce of weed. And in my dream, I literally went, this has to be a dream. I need to wake up. And then I woke up and was like, oh, score. Like, oh, thank God. This was last night. Why am I talking about dreams? Oh, because if a man has his own dreams, has his own dreams of greatness, but like he's subservient to his woman, then how can one reconcile that? It's like, excuse me, shit. A little word called equality, dickhead. And of course, Stavros, the progressive leftist, he's going to bring that up. He's not scared of Rogan, but he's also not high yet. So he's not just going to sit there and nod along with the things Rogan says, right?
Over fucking rated. Let me suck on a pair of freshly redone titties. let me tend to.
He loves those titties, dude. Not as much as he loves getting his dick sucked, but he loves titties. Don't you stop.
The pool. You know what I mean?
This motherfucker should have got pink-bellied in the locker room. Should have played some sports, motherfucker. You got bullied into being a decent human.
I can throw on some...
Like me. Just kidding. They never caught my ass. A little shake and bake.
Good cocoa melon.
Catch me for no motherfucking pink bellies, bitch.
With our son.
It's your job to scoop the dog shit.
Happily. With a fucking smile on my face,
That's
dude.
Hilarious.
I would love a high-powered woman who's just like, thinks comedy stupid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you wouldn't want to, like, have someone who respects your passion and that then. I'll just get my dick sucked by a fat tittied old lady.
Like that?
I think I would.
What if she started telling you to stop going on?
No, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, sure. You got plenty of self-control and are great for sticking up for yourself and the things that you believe in.
But that's what
clearly, as it's being proven right now, right, Stav?
What stupid leads.
Fuck you.
Too.
Yeah, but I would be like, yeah, you're right. I mean,
a friend of mine is having that issue right now.
Really?
Hot girlfriend.
Really?
And she's like, you don't need to go out tonight. He's like,
he's talking about Shane, right?
I do though.
Yeah.
he got a hot ass girlfriend, and this bitch is all like, hey, I don't gotta go outside. And he's all like, I do though.
She's like, but you went out last night. He's like,
yeah, it's the job.
This is how I get better. I have to, like, you can come with me.
Maybe that.
I think it's weird. And this happened on the Nate Bargatze show the other day, where it was like, what would be the most egregious thing? What do you think is most likely to start a fight between couples? And it was like, what show to watch? You know, who has to take the dog for a walk? And then one of them...
This is how I...
One of them was...
Get better. I have to... Like, you can come with me.
Oh, making plans without asking. And I was like, there's no fucking way that's it. That's crazy. Like, I don't care how married or in love you are. Like, if you want to make plans to go do your goddamn thing, one is one's own, baby. Like, what are we talking about here? And that was the right answer. It's like making plans without asking. And it's like, maybe I shouldn't get married, because that's antithetical to every single thing I have ever professed or acknowledged within my own beliefs. What is one's like, I'm going to go do this. Like Stav said, you're welcome to come with me, but like, I'm going to do this thing. I don't ask fucking anyone for permission. That's crazy. And to be fair, if my fiance thought I was the kind of person who was subservient, I doubt she would have agreed to marry my ass.
Maybe this, not stupid, but like, would prefer if I doesn't mind the work ethic, but thinks it's like, you know, a low, like, doesn't have any like respect for the art form. You know what I mean?
People don't respect.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be hard to find.
No, that would be easy.
A rich woman.
Comedy is one of the most disparaged art forms. It's very odd.
I guess maybe. Can I be honest with you? With one massive counterexample. I've never really heard anyone that's not a comic say that. And I'll give you the counterexample in a minute, but I've only ever heard comics say, like, we are the least appreciated form of art in all the land. It's like, have you ever been in a punk band? I bet if you were to stand up in front of a brewery full of boomers and Gen Xers, that comedy would do a lot better than like, I mean, like, I did that well, but look, someone that doesn't do it well, right? I bet you would do better. Like, comics are not less respected than punk musicians, even by me, a fellow musician, once a punk musician. Like, so I've only ever really heard that no one respects comedy from comedians who are being a little self-deprecating for cuteness. And then, of course, the great Mike David, who also doesn't respect comedy, and I respect that. I respect that opinion. But we're obsessed with different shit. Part of the reason I love listening to the man talk.
And in that,
I'm not gonna sit here and
suck the dick of a great man.
One of the most
I'm gonna wait till I'm a great man and I could change my book cover and get my dick sucked.
difficult things to do. It's one of the most widely enjoyed things.
Very enjoyed.
Yeah, people love comedy. That's fucking true. But again, we're hitting a weird point now where, like, even American Read Act shouldn't have called you stupid for this, Read Act, but because I pissed in my own wine there. Because genuinely, I made a fine point about how Read Act was like,
if Tony Hinchcliffe isn't even a comedian.
It's like, well, I mean, he's been doing comedy since you were 12, kiddo. So, like, comedian, not a talented stand-up comedian. Sure, by a lot of people's measures, I would argue that's probably accurate. But not a comedian is a, I don't really throw this word around very often, but a stupid thing to say. He has a comedy podcast wherein, unlike the other comedy podcasts, people do, say it with me, Read Act, comedy.
Enjoyable, yeah.
Very enjoyed. Like, people fucking love comedy, but no one takes it seriously in terms of, like, when you see someone who's a serious musician, like, there's just a
not me
level.
I am the opposite of a serious musician. I am a silly musician.
Respect for an elite
I'm a musician who's never been able to be in a band because I'm like, all of you have terrible priorities, and I think I'm cooler than you. Not a charismatic thing to admit, but a truth nonetheless.
guitarist.
Yeah.
You know, like a fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan or
Yes.
Gary Clark Jr. There's a level of respect. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, like, they know
Technically
their craft.
gifted.
Yeah, they have their craft.
Yeah.
Whereas with comedy, the problem is we're doing something that everybody does, which is talking.
Talking. Does it?
I guess. Fine. Here's the thing. This is something I've only ever heard comedians talk about. Where they're like, yeah, I mean, people underestimate us because we do, what everybody does. We talk. It's like, I don't, maybe. I've been interested in doing stand-up comedy, or I've at least been interested in the art of stand-up comedy since I was 13, and my cousin showed me Mitch Hedberg. We got to drive around in his Chevy Malibu. I smoked my first cigarette then because he gave me a cigarette after going to the tobacco store. And he's like, these are terrible for you, but you're going to try them, so have a fucking silver. Have a Turkish silver. Good-ass times, and we would just cruise around. He came to visit from Ohio, and the whole week we spent just listening to Mitch Hedberg, cruising around fucking on the sticks of Michigan. And I got to smoke a cigarette, and it was fucking terrible. I hated it, but I took it up a few years later. So, anyway. So I've had a lot of respect for comedians for a very long time. In fact, I think it was like 2019 that no, it was before that. It was like 2016 that I finally realized, like, oh shit, like they're just repeating these jokes. Like, No, it would have been earlier than that. It would have been Mitch Hedberg. Because when I was listening to that album, thought Mitch Hedberg just grabbed a microphone and said a bunch of hilarious shit. That's what I thought stand-up comedy was. And I was like, what the fuck? And to be fair, Joe, if that's what you guys did, you would be more respected. You'd be improvisers and brilliant minds who innovate and take a moment and they turn it into something magical. And there would be a transition of like 10 years where no one would be good at it, but then someone would come out and fucking nail it. And that could be what comedy is, right? But it's not. It's not. It's rehearsed. It's practiced. It's a science, like the same kind of science they apply to, say, telemarketing. Where it's like, well, if you say this thing in the first minute and a half of this interaction with this person, they'll probably react. 70% of people are going to react in this way to you, so we make that a part of our script. It's boring, and it's unfortunately, and maybe I'm alone in this. I know I'm not, but maybe I'm alone in this. I was super disappointed when I found out what stand-up comedy actually looks like behind the scenes, where it's like, oh, you're not like really, really, really naturally funny people. You are people who train themselves to write funny material. Now, that should be respected in its own right, 1,000%. But it's not as cool as thinking Mitch Hedberg went up with just a clear mind and just used to kill. Right? That's disappointing. But I think most people still respect comedians, if nothing else on the basis that you're willing to get up and talk in front of people. Most people aren't even willing to do that. Most people don't love that. Most people don't base their identities off the fact that there's someone who's good at that. Like you.
Everyone thinks they can do it. You know what I mean?
Well, Nope. Since I was a child, I was like, what is this?
Everyone.
How can someone do this? Comics know that anyone can do it because they were anyone and now they can do it. But your average fucking greatest American, like Nate Bargatze or myself, we don't. I don't know that. I didn't know anyone could do it. It just seems like cool. To your absolute stupid fucking point, anyone can learn music. You remember when I said a few episodes back that there used to be this mentality of like the chosen one. Jim Morrison was a chosen one. John Lennon was a chosen one. There were chosen ones, right? Who were just born with this absolute talent. They were born to be an innovator in their artistic fields. And I used to believe that. We all used to just think that way. And it's like, no, I've watched someone who can't sing teach themselves to sing. I've watched someone take themselves from someone who doesn't know, and I can't sing on key. And he practiced for years and years, and now he's like the guy. He's the singer. He does his own acoustic solo act. Like, I've watched people break that chosen one mentality. And I thought I was one of, as a kid. I'm like, oh shit, like, I'm singing and I'm playing and I'm 13 and I'm performing for crowds of hundreds. I must be one of the chosen ones. It's like, no, my mom was a musician. I was inspired by the blues artists she would bring over to the house in her bands. And so I was emulating that from a very, very young age. And so by the time other adults were learning to play music, I was seemingly chosen. It's like, no, I've been practicing this for 6 hours a day since I was 12, my guy. Like, it's got nothing to do with who's chosen. It's got everything to do with the amount of time you're willing to put in to the thing you're trying to become good at. Go fuck yourself. Anyone can do comedy. Anyone can do piano. Anyone can write a masterpiece. How much time do you have? How much time are you willing to commit to creating something great? Fuck you.
Yeah. A friend of mine's been bringing it
Not you guys. These guys.
up lately, and I'm like, no.
That's funny to be friends with you and be like, I could do it.
Oh my god.
It's like his friend's not even an open micer.
But
You have, like, a
everything he ever
comedy
says
club.
that he thinks is funny, he laughs at his own shit. It's terrible.
Yeah, your friend's probably genuinely funnier than you, Joe. We all saw Burn the Boats, right? Jesus Christ. This is what I mean. Like, you're funny enough in the moment, right? You still make money performing club to club. Shy of a Netflix deal. Now, no one tell the comedians this, but genuinely, I think I'm making a point here. Shy of a Netflix deal, why do a special? Has it gone well for anyone since Anthony Jeselnik in 2024? Who made a special and then their career got better since then? Oh, wait. Let me know. I'm not certain I'm right. I'm asking a question. Like, I'm sure those people probably exist, so who are those people, right? People who exist that, like, were relatively popular comedians who went and put out a special, and everyone saw that, like, oh, this is what your comedy is, Tony Hinchcliffe? What the fuck? Oh, this is what your comedy is? Like, we've only ever seen you be a funny guy, so why do a special that everyone's going to get to see and rate you on and do a little EEK scale rating with? Why? Why not just keep coasting? Be the famous podcaster who does live stand-up comedy, and no one can ever prove you're terrible at it because you got yonder bags, right? I think Bobby Lee is the epitome of this terrible decision. Now, it hasn't come out yet, but it's coming out soon, and we will be covering it. I'm putting off the Tony Hinchcliffe thing, because genuinely, like, it would have been worth doing the day of the night it came out, or sometime eventually. It's like, either I get out in front of everyone and put out my coverage of it first, which I've done before, like with Timmy No Breaks, and it's not really worth doing. The ways you get out in front of the YouTube algorithm, those times have changed massively. So I'm not trying to be like Redact, who's just putting out bullshit. Like, I'm going to review the whole thing. I'll be the only one reviewing it note for note. This I promise you. No one else does what we do here at CTE. Maybe that's because no one's interested in it, but you know who is? DC, Adam, Comedy Mothership, Jake, my friends, we're doing our fucking thing. Cat Dog now. That's 5, baby. That's more than I ever thought would be interested in what we're doing right now. So, let's keep to it.
Always. Dude. That's part of the problem. I mean, also, it's like, I love comedy. It's the thing
Someone get a hold of Midnighters and Shiv and tell them, God damn it, go hang out with Druid over on CTE.
My whole life has
You got a celebrity spot here at this show, man.
been dedicated.
There are others too. Cat Dog's a great example. Of, like, we would every time Cat Dog would log on, I'd be like, Cat Dog, like, what up, bro? And Cat Dog was one of the good ones, who I truly believe like sees the talent in Jeff Crabtree and wasn't just there to like sarcastically lol cow the guy. And here's the thing, there are guys I like over there that are doing that. I still like them. I'll call them out, though. What was it? Somebody, I won't name any names because I'm not trying to disparage anyone. You know who you are if you're seeing this. Posted some shit on X about Jeff where he was like having some kind of meltdown at the time because he's an artist and he's not a stable man, but he's a solid fucking artist. And he took one of his this person took one of Jeff's moments of instability and he posted it. And I got in the comments and I was like, of all the joy this man brings to humanity, I have no idea why you would choose to put this out there. And to be fair, he was like, well, you know, this is the lull before the victory or whatever, and he put it in some kind of like cool narrative terms, and I respect that. But I want you to know that you and I are doing two different things. I actually really, really, truly like and respect Jeff, and I'm rooting for him. And at the time I was in his chat talking about like HOF, IP4 HOF, I saw a road to that. I haven't studied that world in a while, but if I'm honest, I don't necessarily know that that road still exists. That's not why I stopped hanging out over there, but it's a notable component of a compound reason that I had to stop. One of the things being that I was obsessed. I couldn't stop thinking about Jeff Crabtree, the things people were saying in his chat, or the things I was responding to them in the chat. So, if you're one of the crab people, ask me personally why I'm not there anymore, and I will tell you the honest truth. If you're Jeff Crabtree, ask me, and I'll tell you the honest truth publicly. But at no point was it ever for any lack of love from my main man, Hefe. And I know he doesn't watch this show, but Hefe, if you're seeing this clip, I love you, bro. Let's collab musically. We'll do the Druid song. What is it? Druid, you're so fluid. You're keeping that chat in line. I'm Druid, you're so fluid. You get it right every time. Oh, well, Druid, so fucking fluid. See what I mean? You could go a long way. Jeff Crabtree, everybody.
To it, but I also
go check him out. Kill Tony Iron Patriot or something. Give him a follow. Hang out in the chat. If someone's making fun of him, attack them in a funny way.
I respect a guitarist more than a comedian.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, not fucking me, bro. I've known way too many guitarists to respect a guitarist above a comedian.
They're right.
They practice.
Exactly, dude.
They actually practice when no one's around.
True, but isn't that what you do? Why am I arguing on behalf of comics? But straight up, like, isn't that what you do when you're writing? Like, you're doing what we're doing. We don't know that, like, when I'm practicing, like, oh, this is going to go really well with the crowd. We're just working on our craft, and then when we present it to them, it seems more refined, right? Isn't that exactly what you're doing when you're writing?
A fine artist, like, I respect them more than fucking comedy. And
I respect a fine artist more than what you do in comedy. 5 sure, Stavros. While, by the way, we're about an hour in and he's still smoking a cigar. Not a blunt, a cigar.
And I love that, though. I think it should be the low. I like that we're the lowest form of show business.
Yeah, it's good.
We're fucking...
Yeah, because as long as no one has any standards for the way that you should show up and perform, you can continue to show up and perform and be in garbage shape and not care and not respect the art that you're performing. It's great.
I mean, we are dumb as fuck. I like that we're the lowest form of show business.
Yeah, it's good.
We're fucking idiot. I mean, we are dumb as fuck. We have like a type. Some of us have a type of intelligence, or like I think what I like is
some of us
and like emotional intelligence. I can pick up on people.
Oh, can you pick up on people? Can you pick up on them? Maybe sucking your dick and getting a little piece of pussy.
I'm not fucking reading books.
Die. Stop, you get under my skin. I don't have that much skin, man.
Anymore.
Most of my mind, I think my brain is essentially like a tachometer. Like
Revs.
I can redline that bitch.
Yeah.
Like if I have scientists and I have to have discussions with them, or if there's something serious that I have to debate about with someone, I can redline it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm cruising on the highway at a steady 2,500 RPMs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that time code was like, women aren't as funny as dudes. We're going to jump up to 109.48. We are skipping a hilarious giggle by Stavros. He does like a really funny little giggle, but we're gonna move past it. We don't need to do that. What's that? You guys refuse to continue to listen to the rest of the episode of Critical Geeks unless I play Stavi's little giggle? You devils. I can't say no to you. So I'm gonna let it play while I go have a pee because oh my goodness, I'm about to die. So hold on.
I think she has on recover from that.
Whoa. Everybody calm down. We're gonna play my music lightly over it while we let you listen to it.
Recover from that.
I think you have to quit.
And when you go back to work tomorrow and everybody's like,
have a good fun.
Dude, that follows you for a year.
Especially if she reads the comments, and you know she reads the comments.
Dude, that video is just will live on. That's what people will know her from.
How about you saying he has old clothes on?
He looks
like,
awesome.
First of all, you know he's rich. Cat Williams is rich. Like he's been doing arenas for
she's
decades.
the fourth mic on a fucking radio show. Come on, lady.
Like, what is that? You got old clothes on.
It's a woman completely out of her depth who does it. Who didn't appreciate that everybody was, rightfully, like, respecting Kat as a fucking legend, and she probably just didn't like it.
She thought she was gonna get over on him.
How? How do you think that?
People are delusional. What?
I'm looking at this.
What?
This story went crazy.
Oh, no, did it?
Apparently, at a show of his in Atlanta, her husband pointed a gun at him. It says it was because of his ridicule of her.
Yeah. Dude, imagine getting got so well. Imagine getting roasted so bad your husband points a gun at the guy.
Imagine getting roasted so bad your husband points a gun at the guy. So, they're referring to Cat Williams. He went on like some kind of morning radio show of some kind. And one of the hosts there was trying to give him shit. And Cat done turned on her ass. Just absolutely tore her up. Sarah, why don't you run your gnarled fingers through my hair? And you can find them blah, blah, blah. He goes, for $17.99, you can wear all the jewelry that Cheryl's got on her body. He's fucking tears her the fuck apart. It's a hilarious, hilarious comedy clip. I hope you heard Stavi's little giggle. Because I'm moving on, and we're going to go to 120.29. Feeling 120.25. 120.25.
Hacks. Because hack works. You know what I mean?
Hack works. We're going back to hack. Because honestly, this will probably be a greater subject we'll end up studying here on CTE in the future. Hack is the ultimate insult from one comic to another. I don't think you're funny, and then hack.
Behind
Hack, of course, short for hackneyed. 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 Not spelled how you'd hope.
Yeah.
Somewhere they could juice it up.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, somewhere they could juice it up.
More often than not, though, I think if they figure it out, they become hacks. Because hack works. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's hack.
Because hack works because it's the lowest hanging fruit, is what he's saying. Okay.
Tom Green is a really good comic now. And Tom Green, was doing movies and all that other stuff and sketches, the Tom Green Show, and now he's doing stand-up.
Well, he's a super imaginative, very, creative guy.
Yeah, Tom Green, and good on Joe, because Joe, from what I've seen, always gives credit where it's due here. Anytime people are like, how did you come up with JRE? His response is usually twofold. He usually gives credit to Brian Redban for being interested in the internet before anyone else. Not always, but that's how it... By the way, if you didn't know that, Kill Tony's Brian Redban started all three. Kill Tony with Tony Hinchcliffe, JRE with Joe Rogan, and get this, YMH with Tom Segura. Joe had to talk him into even doing it, and now Segura is a goddamn cajillionaire because of Brian Redban's work, because Brian Redban knew that the internet was the next step. So Joe will give Redban credit, but he also gives credit to Tom Green, who he was on air when he realized this. You can go back and watch this episode of the Tom Green Show, where Joe Rogan is looking around and he's like, dude, you're like fucking doing it here. Like, this is everything you need. Like, you got no censorship. You can just do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I got to start my own show. And to Joe's credit, he gives credit where it is due. And I truly respect that. This JRE shit wasn't his idea. It was a culmination of ideas that other people had. That he was charismatic enough to collect a team who was able to do that. And driven enough to continue to follow through for 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, you know, he's also super unique. He's also...
So say what you will about the motherfucking guy, but there's no arguing that if you enjoy the medium of podcasting, he was a huge influential figure. So is Dan Harmon, right? So like there are lots of other people who I respect from way back in the day that they did podcasts. But even like Harmontown, I want to say started in 2013 or 14, right? Like, right after he got fired from Community, Dan Harmon. So, like, even still, Rogan predates that. Like, it's... You may hate the guy. I'm not telling you you're wrong for hating the guy, but I'm telling you the world we live in today, for better or for worse, wouldn't even resemble reality without Joe Rogan doing what Brian Redban suggested that he do.
The main reason why
After the whole Carlos Mencia thing. You gotta love how these historical tendrils just fall into this perfect narrative line. It's not my doing, I'm just seeing it.
did this pod.
Simply remarking.
The Tom Green Show?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
But
the online...
True air, you're so fluid. Keep the fact chatting line. Drew air. Fuck, I miss Hefe. I see him online, but literally, like, I respect why he lets anyone say whatever they want in the chat, but I personally get stressed the fuck out when I see a bunch of people trying to lolcow him. And they're the real ones who also agree with me. Again, that's why we see like Adam and Mothership and other good people over here who we met in the crab chat, and I had to move on, and I think they understand why. And again, if you ask me, I'll tell you privately, Dan Soder style, if Jeff Crabtree asks me publicly, if you send me a clip of Jeff asking me, then I'll explain without the mincing of words exactly why I had to stop. But anyway, Stavros on Joe Rogan here. We're a little bit over time, so we're gonna hit these next time codes. But do you remember? If you've watched Red Bar, you know who Anthony Cumia is. But if you're just a CTE fan, do you remember when I was talking about Cumia the other day? How when people make racist jokes, like there's such thing as a very funny racist joke, but then people like Anthony Cumia get a hold of it, and they're like, yeah, on another thing, they're not people, and you're like, oh shit. You're actually racist. You're the kind of person we're making fun of by making racist jokes. Can you imagine being the type of person who is so inept they think it's okay to talk like this? And Cumia is like the poster old man for one of the for that archetype of human. Irrelevant, surely.
Talk show that he did.
Yeah.
I remember I went to his house. It was like 2007.
Tom Green he's talking about.
And I was like, this is crazy. Like, you got wires running through your living room. You had servers. I mean, he had, like, servers there and everything. Like, a whole room dedicated to hard drives and servers and some crazy internet connection. It was wild. And I was like, dude, you just got to figure out a way to monetize this. Like, this is it. This is the future. No executives. No one tell you what to do. I think I started doing versions of like web shows after, and then the other one that got me into it was doing the Opie and Anthony show. Because it was
Ooh, wait a minute, Opie and Anthony, like Anthony Cumia?
Web shows after, and then the other one that got me into it was doing the Opie and Anthony show.
Wait. Opie and Anthony, second only to Howard Stern? Opie and Anthony on the... Fuck, I don't even remember what they're called. I don't remember what it was, that network was called. It's not Gas Digital, because that's Louis J. Gomez's, but it's Anthony Cumia's network. Dope. Because you know what I got out of that network? Red Bar. And beyond that, nothing. Nothing I don't need. I don't give a shit what it's called. Fuck them.
Because it was
time to become forgotten, you old dusty bitch.
such a hang.
Totally.
It was just a hang. There was no organization to it at all. Bunch of
Sure, I guess he inspired a bunch of people who couldn't get on the Stern.
funny guys,
People
Patrice
popping in
and
and out.
Voss and Norton and everyone just hanging out.
Wait. The Norton? Edward Norton? Patrice O'Neill, sure. Someday I'd like to do a thought experiment and investigate what we think Patrice would have become. Would he be like an Attell? Where he's kind of like softly spoken and he's not really trying to tell the young toughs how to do it? I don't think that was ever Patrice's style. Right? Like, I don't know Patrice particularly well. Excuse me, as a character. I've never met any of these assholes, but I don't know his character particularly well. But from what I can glean, from what I've seen in clips, the way people talk about him, the way his comedy was, like, I don't think he would have just gone out a quiet yes man, which means he probably would have pissed you off. He probably would have pissed off a bunch of people because I think he probably would have continued to speak his mind regardless. I don't know, and far be it from me to fetishize some dead comic that everyone uses to justify their own being an asshole. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yeah, so Anthony Cumia's show used to be one of the early ones where you could just talk and say whatever you wanted. Say things like, I don't know, one time I went to Tijuana and had sex with a 12-year-old girl and she started crying and I started fucking her even harder. Bobby Lee.
Hitting on each other. That was the predecessor.
Why do you think I call him the Tijuana tearjerker? It's not for nothing.
So that was like the...
That was the predecessor.
That was the thing, yeah.
Especially when they went to XM. And they...
Same kind of deal, where it's like Bobby's like, oh, I told a crazy story on a crazy comedy podcast. Like, I never did any of that, just like Brad Williams never did the old switcheroo. The realist in me is like, sure, that has the potential to be true. But the asshole in me is like, yeah, but you said it though, didn't you? Didn't you fucking say it, right? These comics, they're so willing to call everybody else out, and then as soon as they get called out themselves, they quit reading the comments, don't they? People call out my fucking old bullshit all the time. Today I got a comment on my Sam Hyde video, which came out like over a year ago. And I was like, you're wrong about Sam Hyde on Harlan, because everyone was like, it was a crash out. He had a crash out. It's like, he didn't really have a crash out. I mean, he's just like Sam Hyde. He's a chaotic force. He wasn't able to get over on Harlan. Harlan did what he does to people and dominates them through comedy. Sam wasn't going to take that lying down, so he flipped the motherfucking desk. Was it a cool move? No. Was it a dope move? By my measure. What the fuck? Why my shit turn off? By my measure. We're taking the second one. Okay. We're over time. I'm just having a good time. I'm finishing my Shane Gillis and we're cruising. We're getting to know stuff.
How can you teach me how to get my dick sucked like you do? Get a little piece of fucking pussy.
You can say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
I hate it too. When I talk like that, I don't love me, but it's It's not accurate to the way he speaks. It's accurate to the way he is. Right? When I do an impression of somebody, now maybe this is a cop-out, but I'm not trying to nail exactly what their voice sounds like. For instance, when I do redact, it's like I don't sound necessarily like redact. I sound like Redact's soul, right? I consume this little piece of that fucking spirit, and I suck it down and I swallow, because I'm a good girl. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to sound like the guy. You need to encapsulate the cartoon you're trying to make fun of. And I feel like that's somehow relevant to what we were just doing.
It's so funny to hear the clips from when they...
Cheers, my friends. This has been a fun episode. We're going a little over. And then, in just a moment, when we're done with all this shit, we're going to do a musical performance by none other than Jippo, known to some as Druid the Punk.
They were on terrestrial radio, and they're like, easy, Patrice, and they're like, oh wait, he can't say, he can't say
anything.
Yeah. But yeah, it is it's
great point, Stav. Great point. Per usual, honestly, if I'm honest.
Fascinating.
So but you used to listen to some Kumia, but probably not a lot.
But yeah, I guess that's what the radio guys were thinking, But I agree with you. You should try and understand what the fuck's going on, not like feel threatened.
Yeah, well, I get why you would feel threatened. I just don't think it's productive.
Yeah.
It's just like, how's
Wait,
it
I see smoke, but wait a minute,
gonna help
isn't
you to
that...
shit on something that is obviously killing it?
Once you're already successful, though, people get set in their
That's a fucking cigar. Sitting in an ashtray on the table. Neither of them are holding it. It's just a burning ass cigar, because they got a little too high off of the cigars. Wait a minute. But didn't Stavros say the reason he doesn't like to go on JRE is because you spend 3.5 hours just getting high, and then eventually you're just gonna nod along to some opinions you don't actually agree with. But wait a minute. Between Bud Lights and space cakes, I've been on the air for 3 hours right now. And let me look back real quick. I fully stand behind every single thing I either laughed at or nodded along to. In fact, when I don't agree with the things I nodded along to, I'll correct myself the next episode. Vis-a-vis the D.L. Hughley comment about how all these white boy comics want to say the N word. They talk about free speech, that just means they want to say the N-word. And I was like, yeah, preach, brother. and then I watched my show back, and I was like, what? No, that's not at all. They want to say the F slur and the R slur. Never at any point was someone like, why can't I get away with the N-word? It's like, no, that was never on the table. No one ever thought you should be able to say that word. Anyone that did is an Anthony Cumbia, and they've been ditched to the far reaches of X, where not even Luis J. Gomez can refer to him without laughing. We're not people! It's like, fuck that fucking guy. He deserves to be exactly where he fucking is.
Fucking ways and,
Yeah, well, especially if you're like a Howard Stern type dude. You're the biggest guy ever in radio, and then something's coming along that's taking over radio. Like, no way.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Too lazy to try still listens to Howard Stern.
Although I will say, none of us have an awesome black midget that we bring on.
That's a hard M you just dropped. Not very leftist of you, Stavros. You're gonna keep my video down to 14 views? Really, bro? I think it's because on the last episode, go back and look at my views on the last video. I was getting like a few hundred, and then I dropped a hard CM in the last video, and I hope, that's why my momentum died. So, share CTE with your friends. We're good for the brain. CTE. Good for the brain.
Beetlejuice rocks.
Imagine if he bailed on his contract.
We're talking about Beetlejuice. This is a Howard Stern thing, not an Anthony Cumia thing like I thought. first.
But you know what? I got $1 billion in the bank.
Yeah.
I'm firing all the executives. I'm buying a warehouse.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just build a wild ass studio in there
Yeah.
and just do podcasts.
So in case you're wondering who Beetlejuice is this... I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to diagnose nobody, but he feels like he's got a big scoop of the something. And this is a video to introduce you a little bit to him before we do our musical performance and get the fuck out of here. This is a video where Too Lazy to Try talks a little bit about Beetlejuice. Now, fun fact about me and Too Lazy to Try. I found Red Bar because of Too Lazy to Try. I lost my mind. I finally woke up and I was in this room in Forgotten Space, right? And I start. I had been leaning quite left for that time. All of my friends were and contemporarily kind of are leftists, and I was like, all right, well, my brain was broken. I'm just now starting to form memories again after the last year of, as I said, my brain just taking off, right? So I'm just finding new things. What can pull my interest in at all? And then I'm like, what's this show, Bad Friends? Well, I think this is a pretty right-leaning show. They say a bunch of things that you shouldn't be allowed to say. This was young Jippo, just only a few years ago. Cutie, little guy. I started watching Bad Friends. I want to be ninja and all that, and I was just like, oh shit! As I've said last week, these guys aren't the devil. They're just making jokes and using the language of people who I don't respect, but they're making it funny. They're taking the time to literally punch up these things that otherwise should be unspeakable, but they're being funny. And so I started watching some Bad Friends, and because of that, I believe, the algorithm fed me Too Lazy to Try as comedians are losing their minds over comments. And that's where he covered Red Bar, talking about we know a reporter, fuck that clown, and I'm like, who the fuck is Red Bar? And now here we are, my friends. So Too Lazy to Try got me introduced to the entire comedy commentary scene, the likes of which I can't help but think about 90% of the time these days.
Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about an absolute legend who shouldn't
Doesn't he seem like he could be Jules' nephew?
Need much of an
Their voices, listen to him. DC, doesn't he seem like he could be Jules' nephew?
introduction at this point. I'm sure basically every person watching this is at least somewhat familiar with the great Beetlejuice.
So, I'm not, but what is that about? Oh, is this sarcasm?
I mean, the man's an icon.
Icon, you say? That's not usually thrown around genuinely anymore, unless we're talking about Red Bar.
And he's accomplished it all in his career. He's done boxing, acting, wrestling. He was also involved in politics. He's a musician. He's a comedic genius.
The point being that the running joke on this Beetlejuice guy is, hey, he's too redacted to know we're making fun of him. He thinks he's the shit.
And he's also a huge ladies' man. And honestly, I think it'd be nearly impossible to find someone more well-respected than Beat. I mean...
Sarcasm. Now, you may think, Jippo, you roll your eyes at sarcasm while simultaneously satirically calling Senator Hinchcliffe by his eventually earned name. To which I say, shut up.
And even with all the fame and success he's had throughout his career, he never lets it get to his little head, and he still
his little head
manages to keep it real. The guy could have sold out a long time ago, just like Howard Stern, but he never let the fame change him.
Never let the fame change. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's sarcastic. This guy's a little bit out there. To be fair, what Too Lazy to Try is doing is the same thing that people were trying to do to Jeff Crabtree when I was there, where I'm literally just complimenting him because he is an incredibly fucking talented songwriter and musician. Come at me. I would love to go track for track with you and explain exactly why. I'll put that shit on the eek scale, bitch. Jeff Crabtree is far more talented than most of the people you've ever known in your life. The Dirty Crabber was just too late. You get people like this workout douchebag. I can't remember his name, but he's going to end up on my screen once I have a screen. Don't you worry, we're going to attack the shit out of this guy. Who said to Jeff Crabtree in one of his shorts, nobody wanted it then, nobody wants it now. And then he goes to his fucking show and he's in his garage like flexing as he like peeks on his Adderall and tightens his bike tires. Ooh, it's time to do some fucking curls. It's like, I can't wait to get under this guy's skin. And I'm gonna. Because he attacked Jeff Crabtree unjustly. Because he's one of these people who sees somebody they don't understand and goes like, wait, people are being ironic by liking him? Cool, I really like Jeff Crabtree. Fuck all you people who try to ironically bully and create a victim of somebody who like doesn't know that you're like fucking with him. Jeff Crabtree's got enough wherewithal to know that you're probably fucking with him, but I don't know that this Beetlejuice guy ever did, and I don't care that Too Lazy 2 tries making fun of him. What's interesting to me is that Stavros Halkias loves that era.
Yeah, and go back to like Howard Stern from the 80s.
Yeah, but you know, at a certain point, you're not that guy anymore either.
That's true.
Your temperament changes. You know.
Joe, does your temperament change? Do you agree that that's true? Because I hate to spoil things for you, my main man, but we're almost exactly 2 years from this, and you've changed. Another song we'll play later on. Not today, though.
You know, it's like
he got real scared of the virus.
Yeah.
He like didn't go into the city for
Howard Stern got very scared of the virus.
for like fucking 2 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I just want to see Beetlejuice back. That's another one of my
Is he
classic.
still alive?
I think.
Going out of his way to bring up Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
Is he still alive? Oh yeah.
He's thriving.
He's thriving.
I don't know. I don't know, but I do like to throw on some Beetlejuice clips.
It's not very mental health of you, Stav. You like to throw on some Beetlejuice clips?
I saw a clip of his sister.
Yeah, him and his sister
became a thing.
Looks exactly
so funny, Jamie.
like him.
Oh Jesus!
My favorite one is when they trick him into thinking he's talking to Obama.
Oh my God, his own delusions of grandeur brought on by people who have a sense of awareness far beyond his own. Isn't that so funny? This dumb guy who was born unable to understand that people are making fun of him.
Oh my God! Was it Obama impersonator?
I hate when people can't think.
The guy was barely doing a voice.
Yeah, the guy was barely doing the voice. It's so clear that this dude is so redacted.
And he's going like, "Fuck you, Obama."
Fuck you, Obama. That's so funny. It's like when you shock a dog for standing up after 4 hours. Justice for Kaya.
My God!
Beetlejuice had a personal beat.
I still think it's so funny that like literally between 1 and 3 days before Hassan, it was announced that Hassan was being investigated by the federal government for colluding with a hostile foreign government. Days before that happened, Stavi went on there and was trying to defend Hassan against Osmongold. Can we not acknowledge that maybe, just maybe, old DTP is onto something? Like, can we not acknowledge that Lady Druid was even more onto something when she said, "Why do you like this guy? I think he's a dirtbag." And I was like, what? No, he's... Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Can we not acknowledge that probably what we're witnessing is the beginning of Stavros' plummet? Maybe? Or am I just reaching? Am I redacting? Am I just making things up and pretending that those are reality because I need to get a video out once a week? If you ever think I'm guilty of suffering the pressure of being under the gun, let me know in the comments. Yes, I've been consistent, relatively consistent up till now, but I promise you, as soon as I get bored, I'm Johnny Two Fingers. I love this shit. I would change nothing about Stavi. The only thing I would change about the landscape of contemporary comedy commentary Bring back Red Bar. I miss a world wherein I knew Red Bar was gonna give it to him. He was gonna give it to you. So, if you're seeing this and you have any channels of getting a hold of him, if you're Scars Club, if you're in the BBC, let him know Critical Leaks misses you. A song called The Poor Man's Love Song. I once met a lass, she was beautiful as sin. Hair like a crow feather, piercing eyes, and a devil's Cheshire grin. She said, I don't know just where you've been, and I don't know just where you're going, but I gotta say, man, you're not my cast. It's a shame that you and I could never laugh. It's not my place to say. It's not my place to say. I said it's not my place to say. She said, man, who are ya? And why should I give it down? I said that I got no money, I got no job, and my music is all that I am. She said, I don't know just who you think you are. You're kind and my kind, we can't get far. It's the proletariat and the bourgeoisie. Said it's not fair, but it's not my place to see. It's not my place to say. No, it's not my place to say. It's not my place to say. It's not my place to say. I said it's not my place to say. She walked away, there was nothing this poor man could do. I might have loved her, she might have loved me, I guess we'll never know the truth. It's the proletariat and the bourgeoisie, like the classes in the US, so that I break the mold somehow, yes, some way. I find myself some gold, but it's not my place to say. It's not my place to say. It's not my place to say. No, it's not my place to say. It's not my place to say. It's not my place to say. I said it's not my place to say. Thank you very much for hanging out. I had a brilliant fucking time. This has been time, be nice.